Wow. And the Warriors indeed are here. That's the Cherokee County Warriors here from Center tonight on High School Football Alabama's After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. John Holder, Coach Michael Short, Chad Barnett has the evening off. We're coming to you live tonight for the next 3 hours of high school football from the Sound Solutions Media Center on Quintard Avenue in Anniston at Parker Memorial Baptist Church. We'll hear more from the Cherokee County cheerleaders coming up in just a few moments here on After the Game. We're back in region play tonight in high school football across the state of Alabama and including right here in East Alabama. Big games tonight, so let's take you right now immediately to our USA Softball of Alabama scoreboard. Keep you up to date on the final scores. Number 2 Piedmont tonight. They remain undefeated in Class 3A as they go to Locust Fork. They beat the Hornets tonight. No problem for the Bulldogs as they win it 49-9, the final tonight from over in Blount County at Locust Fork. Asheville and White Plains. We will have highlights of this game from Robertson Field at White Plains. Look at the Asheville Bulldogs. Man alive. First-year head coach Mark Sanders has Asheville at 5-1 as Asheville beats White Plains tonight out at White Plains 38-16, and we will have highlights of that game coming. Donahoe and Fayetteville, highlights of that game coming on After the Game. We were at that game. I was at that game. About 3 minutes to go in the game. Fayetteville was up 36-0. Fayetteville obviously is going to win the game. They will go to 4-2. Donahoe will fall to 0-7. Still looking for a final on that game coming. Wild game tonight. This was another game that my crew was at. We were at Pete Rich Alumni Stadium in Pell City tonight. We had 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns. We had 2 punt returns for touchdowns tonight. Oxford in a wild game, back and forth. They hold on to beat Pell City tonight 36-31. We're going to show you those 2 kickoff returns tonight from down at a packed house. A huge game, huge win for Oxford tonight in Class 6A Region 6 down at Pell City. Highlights of that game are coming. Our Judd Edwards State Farm Insurance Game of the Week, a top 5 matchup tonight at Lott Mosby Memorial Stadium in Anniston. Number 5 Anniston pretty much wrapped up a region title tonight. They beat number 4 Cherokee County 20-13 tonight. We will have all the highlights of that game, the post-game reaction with Coach Michael Short from Anniston tonight as number 5 Anniston remains undefeated. The Bulldogs beat number 4 Cherokee County tonight 20-13. J.B. Pennington and Sachs tonight out at Sachs. J.B. Pennington coming in from Bluntsville, having their way with the Wildcats tonight, winning 49-0. Westbrook Christian tonight. They go to 5-1. They win on the Creek Bank at Ohatchee, 48-0. Westbrook head coach Steve Smith will be live with us here on After the Game later on tonight as he makes his way over from Rainbow City. Westbrook Christian beating Ohatchee 48-0 tonight. We'll also have highlights of this game. Another impactful game in 4A Region 6 tonight at Hoax Bluff, Alexandria. Very impressive tonight. Alexandria beats Hoax Bluff 39-21. That's going to set up a big showdown next week in Center at Bobby Joe Johnson Field between Cherokee County and Hoax Bluff. Probably third place, to be honest with you, on the line. That'll be big, huge game. Alexandria may have wrapped up. They've still got Cherokee County to go, but Alexandria in the driver's seat right now as far as second place and home field advantage goes. In Class 4A Region 6, Alexandria wins it tonight at the Bluff 39-21. We will have highlights of that game coming from Hoax Bluff later on After the Game. Jackson, Glencoe, and Weaver tonight. Let's tell you about that game. Glencoe, big. They were up 28-0 in the first quarter. Glencoe rolls over Weaver tonight, 56-19 over at Glencoe tonight. We will have highlights of that game of Glencoe's big win over the Weaver Bearcats, 56-19. Jacksonville and Springville, scoring shootout tonight. Another kind of a wild, high-scoring game at Golden Eagle Stadium. Jacksonville beats Springville 49-32. Head coach of the Jacksonville Golden Eagles, Jeremy Sullivan, will join us live right here on After the Game tonight. Still looking for a final score on Jacksonville Christian and Southern Christian. Southern Christian, a homeschool group out of Opelika, coming into JCA tonight. No final score on that game as of yet. We'll have that final coming for you later on After the Game. Also this evening, Pleasant Valley, number 8 team in Class 2A. They go to Cedar Bluff tonight. LD Bruce Field on the lake. They beat the Tigers 34-6. Another impressive win for Pleasant Valley as the Raiders improved to 6-1. Kind of a heartbreaking loss for Cleburne County. Cleburne County had the lead 16-15 at Hot O'Brien Stadium in Tallahassee tonight. And they had a fourth down play jump off sides as we understand it. They gave Tallahassee new life, continued to play. Tallahassee went in, scored the touchdown to win the game and the 2-point conversion as Tallahassee knocks off Cleburne County tonight down in Elmore County at Tallahassee 23-16. Ranburne Bulldogs tonight playing at home against Horseshoe Bend. They win big tonight, does Ranburne, as they beat the Generals 47-10 the final over in Cleburne County at Ranburne. This was another impressive win tonight by number 1 in 1A Wadley. Wadley playing Randolph County rival Woodland tonight at Sewell Field at Woodland. Wadley wins the game, no problem. They won 11 of the last 12 from the Bobcats, and they win it tonight 49-7 over at Woodland. Also tonight, Randolph County at home, Glenwood. Great team from down Smith Station. Glenwood Academy comes in tonight. They beat Randolph County, handing the Tigers their second loss tonight as Glenwood wins it 49-22, the final from Hewitt-Humphrey Stadium in Wedowee. We also had Handley. This was a huge game. As a matter of fact, don't be surprised if in 4A Region 3, this winds up being the region title game. Handley tonight, very quietly, 6-1. They beat Bullitt County, who was undefeated coming into this game. Handley wins it 33-7 tonight in Roanoke at right field as they beat the Bullitt County Hornets tonight. Also this evening, let me tell you about this game. Number 6 in 5A Central Clay County at home at Volunteer Stadium against Elmore County. This game was tied 14-14 with 9 seconds to go in the game. J.T. Wilkerson, he's back at quarterback now after an injury knocked him out of the early part of the season. He throws a 35-yard touchdown pass to Taylor Boyd with 9 seconds to go in the game as Central Clay County beats Elmore County 21-14. Thanks to our colleague Tommy Wood for that information down at Volunteer Stadium tonight. Let's take you over to Talladega County. A couple of teams from Sylacauga area playing in Chambers County tonight down in Valley. Sylacauga playing at Valley, still with no final score on that game. Also just down the road from Valley at Beulah. Beulah hosting B.B. Comer of Sylacauga, still looking for a final score on that game tonight. Both of those games being played 7-8 miles apart down in Chambers and Lee County tonight. Continuing on, Winterboro, number 5 team in 1A. They beat Victory Christian tonight. Another impressive win for the Bulldogs of Coach Skylar Mansfield. Winterboro wins it 39-7 tonight, the final score at Winterboro. Continuing on, tomorrow, Florida School for the Deaf and Alabama School for the Deaf. They will play tomorrow at Kiwanis Field in Talladega. Munford and Talladega tonight. This game being played down at Munford, a key game as far as playoff survival goes in Class 4A Region 3. If we can get to that, maybe we got some problems. There we go. Munford, Talladega, no final on that game still looking for a final on that game tonight from Munford. Moody, number 4 team in 5A, continues to roll. They blasted Center Point tonight at Bill Morris Stadium in Moody, 53-0 the final there. St. Clair County and Leeds, not a final yet. Leeds was up in this game late, 21-20, 21-20. Leeds was leading St. Clair County. Top 10 matchup in 5A tonight in Odenville. Still looking for a final score on that game. Ragland tonight, big win at Valley Head. They go in and beat the Tigers 58-21 tonight up at Valley Head at Tiger Stadium. Also this evening, not a good night for the Sandrock Wildcats. They had to trip to Pisgah tonight, and number 6 Pisgah in 2A, they shut out the Sandrock Wildcats 56-0. Better news on the other side of Cherokee County tonight. Galesville, the Trojans beat Ider, third win of the season for Galesville as they beat Ider 38-21. But bad news from Straight Mountain in Blount County tonight. Number 10 in 1A Appalachian, they beat Spring Garden tonight 20-8 the final score as Appalachian beats Spring Garden. Gaston and Section, this is a new final in. This is now a confirmed final. Section tonight has beaten the Gaston Bulldogs out at Captain Bill Boyd Stadium out at Shinbone Ridge at Gaston. Section wins it 42-30 tonight. Southside and Mae Jemison playing at Smoke Neck Tech at Southside tonight. There's the final. Southside wins a region game in 2 overtimes as we understand it. 2 overtimes. Southside gets a region win in 6A Region 8 as they beat Mae Jemison out of Huntsville 22-16 in double overtime. Last night, Coosa Christian, number 3 team in 2A, they go to Cleveland. They beat the Panthers last night. No problem, 58-13 as Coosa continues to roll in Class 2A play. Staying in Etowah County, Gadsden City, they were up big. They were up 44-10 48-6, I believe it was, late in the game against Lee of Huntsville from Titan Stadium. Should have a final. That is the final now, they tell me. 44-6, Gadsden City continues to roll, setting up a showdown. What probably is going to be, if we can go back to that graphic, probably going to be a region title game in 6A Region 8 next week as the Fort Payne Wildcats, they won tonight. They come to Titan Stadium next Friday night, maybe a game of the week. We'll see about that one. Also tonight, it was the Aniana Redskins playing at home at Gilbert Stadium in Blount County. They beat the Etowah Blue Devils. Etowah falls to 0-6. Aniana at 3-3 as the Redskins win it 21-7. Cold Springs shutting out West End tonight over in Bremen and Coleman County, 28-0. Our last local score, boy, Sardis gave Boaz all they wanted tonight at the Ship in Boaz tonight at Quarterly Stadium. But Boaz pulls it off, holding off Sardis. Came down to a fourth down play at the end of the game, and Boaz beat Sardis 28-24 tonight in that big next-door rival game between the Pirates and the Lions. We got some big games around the state tonight. Class 2A, Providence Christian of Dothan, number 10 team in 2A, playing at home against number 4 Ariton. And Providence beats the Purple Cats tonight 28-24. Tuscaloosa Academy and Vincent, this is now a final. This will be an opponent down the road in a non-region game for Coosa Christian in a couple of weeks. They will go down to Tuscaloosa. Number 5 Tuscaloosa Academy, they were the state runner-up last year in 2A. They beat number 7 Vincent tonight in Tuscaloosa. 30-12 was the final there. T.R. Miller, Cottage Hill Christian, there is the new final. Cottage Hill hands T.R. Miller their second consecutive loss tonight at Bruton Municipal Stadium in Bruton as Cottage Hill out of Mobile, number 10 team in 3A, beats number 5 T.R. Miller 28-14. The final. Big game in the state tonight, still looking for a final on this. This was a number 1 versus number 2 matchup in Class 4A, playing at Legion Field in Jackson. Number 1 Jackson, defending state champions, taking on St. Michael Catholic, the number 2 team. Jackson 5-1, St. Michael Catholic 5-0, number 1 versus number 2 in 4A. Still looking for a final in that game from Southwest Alabama. North Jackson, Madison Academy tonight. Also in Class 4A as they were playing at North Jackson. Still looking for a final in that top 10 matchup in 4A. Couple of big games in 7A tonight. Number 3 Thompson, just when you think Hewitt-Trussville has got it, maybe whipped over there in Class 7A Region 3. They went to number 1 for the first time in school history. But tonight, number 3 Thompson, they come in to beat Hewitt-Trussville 34-12, the final tonight from over in Trussville. And one more statewide game in 7A tonight, and that is Auburn Central of Phoenix City. They're playing tonight at Doug Sanford Stadium in Auburn against number 2 Central Phoenix City, a top 5 matchup in Class 7A. Now we're going to go back to one of the scores. We do have this. That is a correct score, 113-point score tonight. We told you there were a lot of wild games tonight. This game was back and forth, back and forth. I would say that was probably the wildest game that I know of so far in the state tonight. Number 7 in 4A, Madison Academy, beating North Jackson 57-56. Back now on After the Game, and as you might have guessed, it's time to announce our Cheaha Cheer and Tumble Cheer Squad of the Week. And as you also may have guessed, that team is the Cherokee County Warriors. Leslie Bowen is here with us tonight. Leslie's going to talk your ears off tonight. Yes, she's going to do that. We also have Laura Poole. She is the cheer coach here for the Cherokee County Warriors. So, Leslie, go ahead and make that presentation today.
Congratulations from Cheaha Cheer and Tumble on being the cheer team of the week.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. And Cheaha Cheer and Tumble, they've got classes from the little bitty girls all the way up to the high school girls, competitive cheer, the tumbling, all of that. My daughter went there. I can tell you it is first class. It's all the way. If you're interested in getting your daughter into cheer and tumbling, then Cheaha Cheer and Tumble in Oxford is the place to be. And without further ado, we promised you more of the Cherokee County Warrior cheerleaders. Glad to have them with us tonight from Center live in studio. They are the Cheaha Cheer and Tumble Cheer Squad of the Week. Ladies, one more time.
Danny Shears, Fred Wilson,
Carolyn Henderson and Lee Patterson ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust and you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Judd Edwards for your personal price plan today.
At Jacksonville State University, the journey starts with you. It begins with your ambition, your curiosity, your dreams. Here, you forge your own path. You have the power to make a difference, explore new horizons, and turn your passions into your future. At Jack State, we journey forward together. The journey starts with you.
It's game time, and your home deserves a winning play.
At Ted's Floors and Beyond, we're your home renovation MVP. Scoring big with top quality cabinets, flooring, countertops, and tile.
Whether you're tackling a full remodel or just need new floors before kickoff, we've got unbeatable deals, including 0% interest for 12 months and free in-home estimates.
Don't fumble your dream home. Hustle in a Ted's today.
Back on high school football, Alabama's After the Game presented by the Calhoun County Commission. Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're about to tell you about their Spirit Scholarship in just a moment. They have been in business for 110 years. They've got the Spirit debit cards for all the Calhoun and Cherokee County schools. And in Calhoun and Cherokee counties, they also have given out over $33,000 in scholarships to local high schools in just the last 7 years. 5 locations in Calhoun and Cherokee counties to serve you. Piedmont, that's the home office, Anniston, Jacksonville, Oxford, and of course in Center as well. Speaking of the Spirit Scholarship, there will be a male and a female winner that will get $1,500 apiece. You're going to vote for them. We'll give different schools every week. The top 40 out of the 80 candidates will receive a $50 gift card courtesy of Farmers and Merchants Bank as well. So they're giving away a lot of money. Let's begin right now with the Spirit Scholarship nominees. The voting for this will begin on our Facebook page at High School Football Alabama at 12 midnight tonight, and this will run through 12 noon next Friday. We've got 3 schools tonight. The first school, the Piedmont Bulldogs, and we begin with their female candidates, Jenna Duke, a 3.5 GPA with volleyball and basketball. Also, we've got Melanie Studdard. We'll go back to Melanie there. It's 4.7 GPA, a basketball player for the Lady Bulldogs. Also, the male nominees from Piedmont are Jarrett Bond, a 3.8 GPA, a football and baseball player. And our final male candidate from Piedmont is Judd Pope, with a 4.5 GPA, a basketball and baseball player for the Piedmont Bulldogs. Now, we also have from Walter Welborn High School. They will be another school that we will have the voting for this week. Their two female candidates are Braylon Bean, a 3.9 GPA. She's a cheerleader, as you can tell there, volleyball and basketball player for the Panthers. Also, the other female nominee from Welborn is Riley Smith, a 3.5 GPA, a volleyball and softball player. The two male athletes from Walter Welborn are Jakeem Kirby, with a 3.9 GPA, a football and track player. And then also from Welborn, we have Ashton Woodard with a perfect 4.0 GPA, a football and track athlete for the Panthers. One more school that you'll be voting for this week, and that is the Weaver Bearcats. Emery Greer, 3.6 GPA, cheer and track for the Bearcats. Our other female nominee from Weaver is Bailey Hodges with a 4.1 GPA, volleyball, drill team, and cheer for the Bearcats. Our two male nominees from Weaver High School are Dalton Fink with a 3.9 GPA, wrestling and fishing he participates in, and then also from Weaver High School, Gina Luca Torres, a 4.1 GPA, a football and wrestling star for the Weaver Bearcats. And those are your nominees. Again, that will be up on our Facebook page, High School Football Alabama, at midnight tonight. The voting will begin, and that will last all the way through 12 noon next Friday, voting for Piedmont, Walter Welborn, and for Weaver. Later on in the show tonight, we're going to announce this week's Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week. And before we do that, though, we're going to show you last week's Team of the Week, which was the Coosa Christian Conquerors. Had a chance earlier this week to go out to Coosa. There I am presenting the Anniston Orthopedic score shirts with the score of the game on there. Jason Gregerson. You see Coach Russ Probst right there from Coosa Christian with the team at practice this week. Jason Gregerson in the background over there. We have the awards to remember score shirts to get out. There's the Ted shirts in the Coosa Christian colors as well. There's our Anniston Orthopedic score shirts with after the game on the front. You'll see me turn it around on the back. There's the score where they beat Blunt last Friday night, 25-14. Congratulations to Coosa Christian, this week's Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week. And coming up at 12 midnight tonight, well, we'll be after 12 midnight. Later on tonight, toward the end of the show, we will have our next Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week announcement. All right, we got a lot of food here tonight at our Sound Solutions Media Center at Parker Memorial Baptist Church on Quintard Avenue in Anniston. The reason we have all this food is because of WM Grocery. Kind of cooler weather out there tonight, and temperatures going to drop down into the 50s. Feels a little bit like fall. And with fall in the air, we also have soup on the minds of a lot of folks. And tonight, the folks at WM, there it is. This is an Italian soup. It's full of meat. It's full of cheese and spices. Very, very nice. This bowl is not microwavable, so if you have a bowl like this, don't put that in your microwave. We found that out the hard way tonight in our hospitality room. But we had the garlic bread with that, the dessert tray, and we also had a really nice charcuterie board. So any kind of catering that you need from WM Grocery, if you'd like these soups, if you'd like they got such great Italian food, chicken fingers, anything. I'll hand that off to the very capable Steve Jones in with us tonight as he'll take care of that soup there. Any kind of catering that you need, WM Grocery with locations in Piedmont, Heflin, also Wedowee and Roanoke. They will take care of all of your needs. We're just getting started. Tons of highlights. Jeremy Sullivan of Jacksonville, Steve Smith of Piedmont, East Alabama Top 10, Team of the Week, other awards, all that coming up as we roll into the night here on After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission.
The Coosa Valley, on the banks of the Coosa River in Gadsden, Alabama. Fishing, boating, and paddling, and home to Team One Chevrolet. Team One Chevy has been serving generations for years. Even the grandkids are grown. Come by and see why so many people come back to Team One Chevy in Gadsden.
Home of the best people, the best service, period.
We stand for Mother Nature. Home sweet home. The best you. Sunsets with friends. Hustle. Art that lasts. Life's simple pleasures. You know, life has purpose when we stand for something. ATCU is now Emblem, a credit union that stands for excellence and community. But most of all, Emblem Credit Union stands for our members and what's important to them. We stand for you.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch. The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you. But when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated.
Dedicated.
Dedicated to what moves you.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
Looking for top-tier tumbling and cheer in East Alabama? Cheehaw Cheer and Tumble has programs for every age and skill level. We offer small group tumbling, tot and preschool classes, and even custom training for school cheer teams. Planning a party? Let us host it. And our nationally recognized all-star teams train right here at home. Join the Cheehaw family, where confidence takes root and champions are made. Visit CheehawCheerandTumble.com today.
This spring and summer, get it done right with Oxford Lumber, your hometown partner for projects big or small. From refreshing your garden to upgrading your outdoor space, we've got everything you need. Check out our full garden center and gear up on our Stihl showroom, chainsaws, blowers, trimmers, and more. Ready to grill? We've got Big Green Egg, Traeger, and Blackstone to fire up the fun. Since 1985, Oxford Lumber has been built on tradition and focused on you. Visit us today at any of our 5 locations: Oxford, Roanoke, Talladega, Jacksonville, and Lincoln. Oxford Lumber, where you're treated like family.
And we are back on high school football, Alabama's After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. Let's tell you about the fine folks at Core Sports. Core Sports, of course, brings you our play of the night at the end of the year. They will bring you our play of the year, as a matter of fact, in high school football. We're going to show you that Core play of the night a little bit later on in the show. Core Sports, fantastic folks down there. They proudly partner with many area high schools. They're located in Oxford. One-stop care from injury prevention to advanced surgery and rehab. Core Sports Medicine, your full-service orthopedics and sports medicine partner here in East Alabama. They do a fantastic job of that. Core Sports bringing you our play of the night. We'll have the play of the night posted, by the way. We normally post that on Saturday mornings. We're going to show you last week's play of the night later on in the show. But if you want to see the play of the night from tonight, there's going to be a lot to choose from, I can tell you, as we look at all our highlights tonight. As a matter of fact, from the game that we're about to look at, as Coach Michael Short joins us here on the show, we're going to see a lot from this Oxford-Pell City game that's coming up. Coach, welcome in. Chad Barnett off tonight, so it's me and you tonight, my friend.
We can handle it.
We can handle it. All right, we're getting ready to take you to our first highlights of the night. My crew was out at the Pell City Oxford game tonight. Coach, just a tremendous atmosphere for high school football. It's the biggest crowd, or one of the biggest crowds I've ever seen at Pell City. Parking was at a premium tonight down in PC.
It always is when Oxford and Pell City gets together, but that's good for this area when those two are competitive and they play each other. It's just great for high school football, and it's great for Oxford and Pell City to be competitive against each other.
Coach, it's really the only rival that Pell City has. It's really the only rival that Oxford has.
Yeah.
And so that's why and tonight had all kind of playoff implications. So let's take you down to Pete Rich Alumni Stadium in Pell City tonight for the game. Look at that beautiful sunset in the western sky tonight over to Pete Rich Alumni Stadium. And then, of course, you're going to see a lot of pink this month. This is Breast Cancer Awareness Week, and here comes the opening kickoff of the game. It was the Jalen Taylor show tonight. 88 yards for the touchdown on the opening kick of the game as Oxford kicks the extra point. He tripped in the end zone there, but 7-0. There go the touchdown T-shirts from RO Supply into our folks on the Oxford sideline as they get those after the game RO Supply T-shirts. Kicking game was big tonight. Here comes Pell City now on the other side. And this is Pell City with a 35-yard return. They had a little fracas over there on the sidelines, and when that happened, it was another 15-yard penalty on top of that, and that gave Pell City great field position. They come to a 4th down and 8 at the Oxford 35-yard line. The pass was complete, but they ruled him out of bounds. That gives it right back over to Oxford, and guess who? Look at Jalen Taylor go up over the Pell City defender, a 31-yard pass from Maddox Mims. And then the huddle there on the Oxford sideline with Coach Sam Adams and his crew. Look at this perfect touchdown pass in the end zone. Guess who? Jalen Taylor, a 10-yard touchdown pass. It was 14-0 Oxford. Oxford was in control. Ensuing kickoff, though. Guess what? Mason Dates. He's headed to JSU. And Charles Kelly's glad because he bounces out of the pile, takes it down the Pell City sidelines, 83 yards for another kickoff return for a touchdown, this time by Pell City. That made it 14-7, and Oxford goes on. They had a big lead. Pell City came back, but Oxford wins the game 36-31. They won 19 of the last 20 meetings against the Pell City Panthers. This was a big one tonight. And, Coach, as we understand it, Chase Robinson, play-by-play for WVOK, was telling me tonight that in the third quarter alone, Jalen Taylor again had not one but 2 punt returns for touchdowns in that game. So 3 kick returns for a touchdown in that one game by Jalen Taylor. You saw another touchdown on a reception we had. We don't know what else he did, but it seemed like tonight, the time we were there, that Pell City just did not have an answer for Jalen Taylor tonight.
Well, you always like to have that kind of athlete that can make them kind of plays for you, but I just proud of Coach Adams and his staff and his team for going over to Pell City, a team that has gotten a lot of confidence, which they should have. They've gotten better and better, but for them to go over there and get this kind of win, and, you know, I'm sure they're to have as many kicking game type touchdowns tonight. I mean, that's the kind of games that may just get you over the hump and may be able to get them to get a big upset. I have to give some kudos to my old coach, Jordan Fuller. He's the kicking game coordinator for them. Used to have him at Cleveland County, so I know he's happy tonight with all the kicking game touchdowns that they had.
You know, you've made this point many times, Coach, in all your coaching career. The fans a lot of times get caught up in the offense and the defense and the schemes and the star players and the big plays on offense and defense. But you have mentioned it as long as you've been with me, Coach, virtually every Friday night about how big the kicking game is and how that is the difference in games. Obviously tonight, Oxford wins that game by 5 points. 3 special teams scores in that game tonight for Oxford.
Well, I mean, when coaches get together and they watch film, they figure out where can we get our advantage at this week. We may not be able to line up and knock somebody off the ball. Tonight, it may be in our advantages in the kicking game. That's just a good coaching staff that finds a way, because it's a third of the ball game. And people that don't take advantage of it are just missing the boat.
And, Coach, we'll talk about this a little bit later on when we go through our Team 1 Chevrolet Gadsden region rundown for this region. This was a massive game tonight for both teams, because if Pell City could have won this game tonight, more than likely they would have had home field advantage in the playoffs. Huge for Pell City. If Oxford had lost this game tonight, they may have been the number 4 team. But now Oxford did a lot of good for themselves tonight, staying out of that 4 spot, avoiding a first-round playoff trip possibly to Parker in the first round. It was a big win for Oxford tonight. Oxford, to be honest with you, probably had more on the line than Pell City did.
Oh, absolutely, and more pressure. It was more pressure on Oxford than it was from Pell City, because just where Oxford has been before. Oxford holds themselves to high esteem, which they should. And that's just a great victory. I'm so happy for Coach Adams and them that they were able to find a way to get this victory. And people would say, well, we didn't move it on offense much, and we give up points on defense. You still won, and you found a way to win. And you never know when a win like that may just catapult you into another win next week.
And a lot of credit after giving up to Pell City and Nick Gentry and his team, after giving up those 2 punt returns in the third quarter, which put them in a big hole. They fought back and had a chance to win this game at the end, falling 36-31. So no quit in that bunch from Pell City tonight.
There's not, and what that does just proves to us that there's going to be some great matchups here in the future between Oxford and Pell City.
Absolutely. 2 programs on the rise, that's for sure. It is time now for our Comeback Player of the Week. And this is presented by the fine folks at Aniston Orthopedics. And we've got a unique one tonight. We've got a fine young man from Jacksonville High School. His name is Bryce Allen. He is our Aniston Orthopedics Comeback Player of the Week. Let me tell you about Bryce. He's a slot receiver. He's a punt returner. He's a linebacker. That seems like a strange combination, linebacker and slot receiver. He broke his collarbone, Coach, in an OTA back on July the 15th. Well, keep that in mind, July 15th against Gunnersville. This is typically a broken collarbone is a 6 to 8 weeks, somewhere along in there, probably closer to 8 than to 6. He was back in 5 weeks, 5'9", 185-pound senior. You see that fine young man there. He was back in 5 weeks, and Coach, he was back for the opening game against Etowah, full speed. That's a great comeback player of the week for the Jacksonville Golden Eagles.
Oh, absolutely, because you don't even realize how much everything you do, from tackling. You say he plays linebacker.
And a slot receiver.
And a slot receiver.
Yes.
Well, he's getting hit at receiver, but when he's playing linebacker, he's delivering the hits, and I've actually seen him, so I didn't know he was the one that had his broken collarbone. Wow, that's unbelievable.
Bryce Allen, our Aniston Orthopedics Comeback Player of the Week from the Jacksonville High School Golden Eagles. All throughout the night, you see our Emblem Credit Union bottom line, keeping you up to date with scores all across the state of Alabama. We're going to update those scores coming up for you in just a moment. Emblem Credit Union, let me tell you, they are the folks with auto loans. I believe, Coach, that every auto loan that I've ever had in my life has come from Emblem Credit Union. That is not an exaggeration. Just like your favorite team on the field, they're here to help you score big off the field with low auto rates on new and used vehicles. You can apply today online at emblemcu.com. Later on, we'll also have our Emblem Credit Union Band of the Week as well. We are past 10:30, but we're just getting started here on After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission.
It's game time, and your home deserves a winning play.
At Ted's Floors and Beyond, we're your home renovation MVP. Scoring big with top quality cabinets, flooring, countertops, and tile.
Whether you're tackling a full remodel or just need new floors before kickoff, we've got unbeatable deals, including 0% interest for 12 months and free in-home estimates.
Don't fumble your dream home. Hustle in a Ted's today.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Looking for top-tier tumbling and cheer in East Alabama? Cheehaw Cheer and Tumble has programs for every age and skill level. We offer small group tumbling, tot and preschool classes, and even custom training for school cheer teams. Planning a party? Let us host it. And our nationally recognized all-star teams train right here at home. Join the Cheehaw family, where confidence takes root and champions are made. Visit CheehawCheerandTumble.com today.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch. The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you. But when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our
Check.
Orthopedic Associates is the longest standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Everything's on.
Dedicated to what moves you.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
Oxford Lumber bringing you highlights each and every Friday night here on After the Game. Oxford Lumber, they have all the trusted names. You know these names: Benjamin Moore Paint, Yellowwood Treated Lumber, Stihl and Milwaukee Power Tools, Tamco Roofing, Traeger Grills, all backed by their low price guarantee. And here's the thing, folks, when you buy local and you don't get more local than Oxford Lumber, you're investing in our community. Locations in Jacksonville, Oxford, beautiful location in Lincoln, also in Talladega, also in Roanoke. Oxford Lumber and Ace Hardware bringing you highlights and proud supporters of high school football Alabama's After the Game. Time to go back. I think we've got all the final scores except for one right now from all around East Alabama and the state. So let's go back to our USA Softball of Alabama scoreboard, get you all the final scores. Piedmont tonight, #2 team in 3A, winning at Locust Fork, 49-9 the final. We got highlights of this game coming. Asheville beating White Plains tonight. Look at Mark Sanders and the Asheville Bulldogs, 5-1, looking for a playoff berth. Asheville beating White Plains 38-16. Highlights of that game still to come on After the Game. This is a new final. This was a game that we will have some highlights of coming up very shortly. Fayetteville tonight. John Limbaugh and his team come in. They beat Donahoe 36-0 tonight. We'll show you highlights of that game from Wentzfield at Donahoe. Also tonight, we just saw the highlights of a great game with a lot of big plays and special teams as Oxford tonight holds off Pell City 36-31 down at Pete Rich Alumni Stadium. Anniston, our Judd Edwards State Farm Insurance Game of the Week. Coach Short was there. He'll bring you all the highlights, all the post-game reaction. #5 in 4A, Anniston beating #4 Cherokee County 20-13. Anniston certainly in the driver's seat. It would take a monumental upset for Anniston to not win the region title in 4A Region 6 as Anniston beats Cherokee County tonight 20-13. Full highlights, post-game reaction coming from Lott Mosby Memorial Stadium in that game. JB Pennington tonight, they come in, they shut out Sachs 49-0. Westbrook Christian wins on the Creek Bank at Ohatchee 48-0. Westbrook head coach Steve Smith picked up win number 299 tonight. We're going to talk with him. He'll be live on After the Game in just a moment. Now, we'll jump forward and tell you about Alexandria winning a huge game tonight. This is a big win Alexandria had to have to host a first-round playoff game. They win tonight at Hoax Bluff 39-21. We will have highlights of that game coming from the Bluff. Glencoe tonight will have highlights of this game. Big win over Weaver, 56-19 the final. Jacksonville tonight, a huge region win. Jacksonville still in great shape for a home playoff game. Jacksonville beating Springville 49-32 the final. Head coach of the Golden Eagles, Coach Jeremy Sullivan, will be joining us here. As a matter of fact, he's just arrived. He will be with us next here on After the Game. Also tonight, Jacksonville Christian and Southern Christian out of Opelika. This is the only score I believe that we are missing tonight. JCA without their starting quarterback and Noah Lee, playing an undefeated Southern Christian team, still looking for a final in that game tonight from Tommy Miller Field at Jacksonville. Pleasant Valley wins at Cedar Bluff tonight. Pleasant Valley about 2 weeks away from a huge showdown with undefeated North Sand Mountain. That'll have huge home field playoff implications. Pleasant Valley wins a region game tonight at Cedar Bluff 34-6. Tough loss for Cleburne County. We gave you the details of this earlier. We'll talk about this a little bit in depth, playing down at Hot O'Brien Stadium in Tallahassee tonight. Cleburne County falls to the Tigers 23-16. Ranburne gets a big win tonight. They win over Horseshoe Bend over at Harlan Robinson Field 47-10 tonight. Another big win for a Randolph County school in an all Randolph County matchup. #1 Wadley rolls over Woodland tonight at Sewell Field 49-7. Glenwood, the Gators, come into Wedowee tonight. They beat Randolph County 49-22. Handley, this is not a top 10 team. I haven't figured this out. They are 6-1, and they're now in the driver's seat to win a region title. Handley tonight at home in Roanoke beats Bullitt County out of Union Springs 33-7. Central to Clay County, 35-yard touchdown pass. Tommy Wood tells me, in case you missed this earlier, Taylor Boyd, a 35-yard touchdown pass from J.T. Wilkerson, who they just got back at quarterback. 9 seconds to go in the game. It was tied at 14. Number 6 Central Clay County remains undefeated in region play as they beat Elmore County tonight 21-14 down at Volunteer Stadium. A couple of new scores coming in from games that were about 8 miles apart. Valley tonight at home beat Sylacauga 42-35, the final. Big win for the Rams. And just across the county line down at Beulah tonight, it was Beulah beating B.B. Comer 39-30. Those two games played about 8 miles apart down in Chambers and Lee counties. Winterboro, number 5 team in 1A, they continue to roll. They beat Victory Christian tonight 39-7. Alabama School for the Deaf and Florida School for the Deaf, they will play tomorrow in Talladega at Kiwanis Field. Tonight, Munford and Talladega. Munford wins the game over Talladega. That's a big win because it's the first win of the season for Coach Michael Easley and the Lions at home tonight at Munford Stadium. They beat Talladega 21-12. Moody, no problem tonight, rolling over Center Point 53-0. Wild game tonight. We had a lot of wild games. I thought maybe the Madison Academy North Jackson game was wild. This one, every bit. Number 10 St. Clair County. This is the biggest win they probably had in 10, 12, 14, 15 years. St. Clair County tonight in Odenville beats number 8 Leeds. Top 10 matchup in 5A as St. Clair County wins it 50-49 tonight. Big win for the Raglan Purple Devils. They go to Valley Head at Tiger Stadium. Beat Valley Head 58-21. Pisgah routs Sandrock tonight 56-0. Galesville gets a big win. Brian Knapp and the Trojans rolling over Eider tonight at home 38-21. Tough loss for Spring Garden. Look at that. Appalachian, the number 10 team now in Class 1A, playing at home up at Straight Mountain tonight. They are now 7-0. Another team, kind of like Hanley, that's very, very quietly making a lot of noise in Class 1A. Appalachian beats Spring Garden tonight 20-8. Section comes into Gaston. They beat the Bulldogs tonight 42-30. This went to double overtime. Southside beats Mae Jemison over at Barney Hood Stadium tonight, 22-16 in double overtime. A lot of exciting, close games tonight. Last night, a game that Coach Short is going to tell us about a little bit later on. Number 3 Coosa Christian blasting Cleveland last night, 58-13. Tonight, Gadsden City setting up a showdown with Fort Payne next week, which might be the 6A Region 8 title. Gadsden City beats Lee of Huntsville 44-6 tonight. Aniana, 2 touchdowns better than Etowah, 21-7 tonight over at Gilbreth Stadium. West End was shut out tonight over at Cold Springs in Coleman County, 28-0. Sardis giving Boaz all they wanted tonight at Corley Stadium. Boaz beat Sardis tonight 28-24 as they go to 5-1. And games around the state. Big game in 2A tonight, a couple of those. Providence Christian in Dothan tonight beat Arrowton. They beat the Purple Cats 28-24. Another big 2A game tonight in Tuscaloosa. Coosa Christian gets them in a couple of weeks. Number 5 Tuscaloosa Academy, the state runner-up in 2A last year. They beat number 7 Vincent tonight 30-12. Cottage Hill Christian out of Mobile upends T.R. Miller in Bruton tonight 28-14. Here's the final. Going to be shocking a lot of folks around the state. A big, I don't know when number 2 beats number 1. It can be an upset, a very big upset, but I think this is. St. Michael Catholic tonight behind Gunner Rivers, and he goes into Jackson. They did this at Legion Field in Jackson. They knock off number 1 and defending state champion Jackson tonight, 49-39 down in Southwest Alabama. Here's that other game we were talking about. Top 10 matchup in 4A, 57-56 Madison Academy. Number 7 goes in to Stevenson tonight to R.D. Hicks Stadium. They beat North Jackson 57-56 tonight. Thompson, a winner over Hewitt Trussville, 34-12. Hewitt Trussville, number 1. It lasted for a week. And Thompson comes in and beats them tonight in Trussville. And look what Central of Phoenix City did to Auburn tonight. This is a big rival game. They played at Duck Sanford Stadium in Auburn. Number 2 Central of Phoenix City beating number 5 Auburn tonight. That was by a score of 36-0. Now, we're going to come back and we're going to talk about our muscle team. This is our Young Oil Grub Mart muscle team for the week. And this bunch, let me just tell you, if we've ever had a muscle team, this bunch is it. We're going to show you these guys right here. It's the Alexandria offensive line. last week in that 51-13 win over Sardis out at Death Valley, they had 304 yards rushing, 251 yards passing, so 555 yards of total offense by Alexandria last week. And a big part of that was because of these guys right here, left to right, Royce Trantham, Parker Nemeth, Gage Kelly, Russell Trantham, Knox Faulkner, and Gavin Sweet. That is your starting Alexandria offensive line. They already have delivered those tonight. Our colleague Jordan Smith was able to give those Muscle Team T-shirts to the Alexandria offensive line, and they are our Young Oil Grub Mart Muscle Team of the Week. We'll announce another one coming up next week after we see what all happened tonight. And now let's talk about Jacksonville State. Before we talk about Jacksonville State, we'll talk about our extra point. And we're going to talk about this a lot tonight because our state representative, Randy Wood, out of District 36 Extra Point, is talking about Coosa Christian head coach Russ Probst. He won his 300th career game in last Friday's 25-14 win over Blount with another victory over Cleveland last night. Probst is now 301 and 119 overall in 32 years of coaching in Alabama and Georgia. He has compiled a 182 and 72 coaching record in 21 seasons in Alabama at Asheville, Eufaula, Alba, Alma Bryant, Hoover, Pell City, and now Coosa Christian. And then he was 119 and 59 in 12 seasons coaching in Georgia, 11 of those at Colquitt County down in Bainbridge, and then also one at Valdosta High School. And that is our state representative, Randy Wood, out of District 36, the first of 4 extra points we're going to bring you tonight. Another entity, another great organization that brings you our highlights on Friday nights is Jacksonville State University. Their athletic growth is unbelievable. We talked about just the growth of the university last week, hitting 10,000 students for the first time ever in school history, but the athletic program's on the rise as well. Top tier facilities. They're now in the Football Bowl Championship subdivision. They are getting more exposure. They're on national television virtually every week, playing big time opponents. And if you want to be a part of that at Jacksonville State University, schedule your visit at jsu.edu/visit. I'm talking about Ted's Floors and Beyond with the backsplash. We'll tell you about them a little bit later on too. /visit and check out Jacksonville State University. Speaking of all things Jacksonville and speaking of an all-time great in JSU football history, we've got one of those coming our way next. He's now the head coach of the Jacksonville Golden Eagles, but a former All-American for the Gamecocks as well. Jeremy Sullivan in to talk about Golden Eagle football. Big win tonight at home against Springville. Coach Sullivan is next on After the Game.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did. We stand for Mother Nature, home sweet home. The best you, sunsets with friends, hustle, art that lasts, life's simple pleasures. You know, life has purpose when we stand for something. ATCU is now Emblem, a credit union that stands for excellence and community. But most of all, Emblem Credit Union stands for our members and what's important to them. We stand for you.
At Jacksonville State University, the journey starts with you. It begins with your ambition, your curiosity, your dreams. Here, you forge your own path. You have the power to make a difference, explore new horizons, and turn your passions into your future. At Jack State, we journey forward together. The journey starts with you.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Judd Edwards for your personal price plan today.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The Coosa Valley, on the banks of the Coosa River in Gadsden, Alabama. Fishing, boating, and paddling, and home to Team One Chevrolet. Team One Chevy has been serving generations for years. Even the grandkids are grown. Come by and see why so many people come back to Team One Chevy in Gadsden.
Home of the best people, the best service, period.
Later on in the evening, we're going to run through the up-to-date from tonight region standings for every region in East Alabama, 1A through 6A, in our Team One Chevrolet of Gadsden region rundown. We're working on that right now. A lot of big region games tonight, a lot of movement. We're going to keep you up to date before the night's over. Watching this show, you'll have every bit of the updated region standings for all of East Alabama right here tonight. Don't have to wait on that. That's brought to you by Team One Chevrolet of Gadsden. They have 1.9% financing on the all-new 2026 Equinox and Blazer. These are perfect for moms with kids that play ball. They got plenty of room, great gas mileage. They also have a great selection of Silverados and SUVs ready for tailgating. Always a great service department as well. Team One Chevrolet, U.S. Highway 431, that's East Megan Boulevard in East Gadsden. We promised you earlier our Core Sports Play of the Night. Now, tomorrow morning, we're going to post this on our Facebook page, High School Football Alabama, after the game, so look for tonight's Play of the Night. But here's last week's Core Sports Play of the Night. Hard to beat this one. We'll talk about this a little bit later on in our extra point. Maddox Mims finding A.J. Ford, 99 yards for a touchdown in Oxford's 42-7 win over Helena last Friday night down at Lamar Field in Oxford. And we've got some big ones tonight coming up. I don't know how we're going to choose a play of the night after all the kick returns and punt returns and block kicks and all those kind of things tonight. We'll have our play of the night posted tomorrow morning on our Facebook page at High School Football Alabama. Time now for Noble Bank and Trust post-game presser, and we are pleased to welcome in for the first time ever to After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission, Coach Jeremy Sullivan from the Jacksonville High School Golden Eagles. Coach, congratulations on the big win tonight. Big region win over Springville, 49-32. As we mentioned, Coach Sullivan, his first year as head coach at Jacksonville, but not a stranger. All-American lineman for the Gamecocks at Jacksonville State, coached at Jacksonville State, and of course, very successful coaching career. We were talking about coaching at Jackson, coaching at Citronelle, had a very successful run at Boaz, and now back here in Calhoun County. Coach, I think your wife is from Oxford, is that right?
Yes, sir, she is. She graduated high school from Oxford, so it's like being back home in a lot of different ways.
Absolutely. Coach, tell us about the game tonight. This is in that region you're in, as we've seen tonight with St. Clair County beating Leeds 50-49. Crazy things happen, but you took care of business tonight against Springville.
Yes, sir. Our kids played well, and they did a tremendous job. I thought their coaches did a great job of having a great game plan, and their kids played hard. They executed. They made some plays. First half it was back and forth. We went up, I think, 14-0, and they come back, and I think at half it was like 21-18 or something like that, and it was a close game, and they scored and actually took the lead to start the second half. They made some great plays on some deep balls. Their kids made some good plays on some 50-50 balls, and they had some good things schemed up, and our offensive line kind of took the game over from that point. Them and the running backs. Quay McNeil ended up having 5 touchdowns and rushing, and Jaden Jones had an 80-yard touchdown run, and he probably led the team in rushing. We hadn't figured it up yet. I'd like to see how many rushing yards we had. We had a bunch. We didn't throw a pass in the second half. And then Kevin Hughley also had a touchdown run in the first half. So it was a big night offensively. Defensively, we fought and battled and played a lot better in the second half.
Coach, one thing, watching your team against Moody earlier this year, Moody, probably from just a pure athleticism and talent standpoint, may have more talent than anybody in 5A in the state. But your bunch came in, and I'm telling you, talk about not backing down. Your guys did not back down. You stood toe-to-toe with Moody all night long. Told me a lot about the resiliency and the toughness of your football team.
Yes, sir. You know, we got our kids play hard. They expect to win, and they put in a lot of time and preparation, and you know they're a fighter. They're a bunch of fighters, and they we're not the biggest or most talented, but our kids play hard, and they're going to play to the final whistle. And I'm real proud of how they competed, against Moody and tonight, and how they've competed all season. You know, we've played some really good teams, and I think it's going to help us down the road. And of course, it sets up for a huge game next week against Lincoln, and everyone now is huge in the home field advantage, playoff implications. So we just had to. I want to enjoy this one as hard as it is for me to do sometimes. I want to enjoy this one a little bit and then move on and start getting ready for a big game against Lincoln.
Coach, I was at your Alexandria game earlier in the season, and hats off to your staff and your team, because I don't know how many times the ambulance left, or your trainer needs an extra set of money for something, because as much as he had to do, but the injuries, we're not talking about weekly injuries. We're talking about injuries maybe for the year. Yeah. And y'all went through a lot, so kudos to your coaching staff and players for coming back every week and just keep giving the fight to everybody that you are. And hats off to you.
It was a crazy night. I ended up at RMC. We had 4 guys in the hospital at one time. I don't know that I've had 4 guys in the hospital in 24 years of coaching, all combined, and we had 4 there at the same time. 2 of them ended up being season-ending injuries, and 2 of them have came back. Now one of them was hurt again, and so we had 2 more starters out tonight, and it's just kind of been a next man up mentality, and our coaches have done a great job coming up with plans to put those backups in roles where they could be successful, and those kids have stepped in and played great. I mean, we're starting 2 8th graders on Friday night, so. It says a lot about, the future and about those kids and their abilities, because it'd be hard to pick them out if you had them in a lineup. But those kids have done a great job, and, we just got to keep moving forward, trying to get a little better and find how all the pieces best fit. I still think we got some guys we can find more of a role for to kind of take up for some of those guys that got hurt, and we just got to keep pushing forward to do that.
Coach, your first year is the head coach at Jacksonville. And you come into a program that Coach Smith had turned around and got them going in the right direction, and you take that over, and now you're putting your stamp on it. Tell us a little bit about the administration and all the things that's got to be right for you to be able to be successful yourself.
Yes, sir. I know you was a head coach for a long time, and so you know how it is. The administration can make or break you. And I am just, I couldn't say, too many good things about the way that they've been on board with everything we've tried to do, from Dr. Barber, our superintendent, to our principal, Dr. Waits, and athletic director, Coach Clark. All those people have been very welcoming and done everything they can to help us be successful. And it takes everybody. The counselors in the school have been unbelievable. There's a lady there named Sarah Underwood. I actually know her husband from Jacksonville State, and she has done a great job of helping me, make sure all our kids are on track to keep their eligibility and to get eligible for college if they got a chance. And it's definitely a multifaceted deal, and I just appreciate the way that all those people have worked with us so far.
You get the ability. They gave you the ability to hire some people, not just take what I was there. And there were some good coaches there.
Yes, sir.
We'll give you an opportunity to talk a little bit about them. I know how they think, well, I don't want to miss anybody, but you also have, and I always thought it was important, that you've got 2 guys that have been head coaches before on your staff, and that is huge to have that.
Yes, sir. When I was at Boaz, I finally got to a point where I think at one time we had 4 or 5 head coaches on our staff, people that had been head coaches, and you know how it is. Those guys know what needs to be done. They're proactive in getting things done. Keep a lot of problems from you. Yeah. You got enough problems, and they keep a lot of problems from you. And so, Alfonso Freeney was the first guy I hired. I signed him at Jacksonville State in about 2005, I think, from Strine High School down in Andalusia, and he has just been tremendous. He's a head coach at Sachs, he's a head coach down in Florida before that, and I love getting to work with him every day. It's been great, kind of a great full circle deal for me. Then we were able to get Ben Stewart, who was at Southside last year. That's all I'll say about that. But he was at Southside, and now he's not, and I'm glad he's with us. He's done a tremendous job. He runs the offense. Brought in Ahmad Duramus, who's our quarterbacks coach from Oxford. Ahmad has done just a tremendous job. Played at Gadsden City. Played for a real good friend of mine, Montressa Kirby, down at Tuskegee. So
Central now.
Yeah, so he's at Central now, but yeah, he was a great. I played with him at JSU 1 year. He probably didn't remember I was a freshman. I got him hit a few times I shouldn't have, but he was a great player. He's a great coach, and he really gave Ahmad a strong recommendation. That's all I needed. And then we brought in Taylor Hayes as our baseball coach. Kept us out on defense. We kept Brian Owens. We're able to keep him on staff. He does a great job for us in the weight room, runs our defense. So at the media day thing, I called my D-line coach Greg, and his name's Gary.
Gary.
I know his name. I don't know how I screwed that up. So it's kind of become a joke.
I do it too, Coach.
So old Greg actually is our D-line coach, and he does a good job. And then we got Lamus McCombs, who was another guy that was a holdover. Been there for a while, and Coach McCombs helps with special teams and outside linebackers, and he's doing a tremendous job. And I hope I didn't forget anybody. I think that's it. But all those guys work their tail off, and they're just good people. They love kids. They love being around kids. They want to do everything they can to help them be successful, and that's what I wanted first and foremost. And then they're good football coaches too, and we're around each other so much. We've really got where we like each other and have become pretty close on the staff. We didn't know each other going in, which is kind of unusual, and but I appreciate everything those guys do.
He just listed off a who's who of high school football right there. Every one of those guys that he just named are pretty much household, for either playing or coaching, or household names for folks that follow high school football, that's for sure, and have followed it over the course of a few years. Coach, let's look forward. You talked about Lincoln next week. You're in a situation now, your team's put yourself in a great situation, because now, as far as getting a home playoff game, you control your own destiny. It's pretty simple now. You just keep winning, and you're going to be at least number 2. If there's some upsets along the way, maybe more than that. But your team's done a great job of getting so far into a position to have a home playoff game, which, for folks, the way the brackets changed a couple of years ago, when you're 1 or 2, that's even a bigger deal than it used to be.
Yes, sir. And all we got to do is beat Lincoln and St. Clair. St. Clair scored 50 points against Leeds tonight, and Lincoln is so much improved, and we've just seen them a few times on film against other people. I hadn't started looking at them really as a game plan standpoint, but like they played the last game that Springville had played was Lincoln. So they're a good football team. They got some really good guys on the outside on offense, a really good quarterback, a big up front. So we have more than a handful coming up with them, and then we get an open week. Thank God. I need it as much as the players do. The drive from Boaz to Jacksonville every day is pretty long, and thank goodness I got at least a couple places I can stay in Jacksonville some nights. But I'll be glad to have a week where we can kind of recuperate a little bit, maybe get back a couple of our injured guys. And we've been playing, everybody we've played the last couple of weeks, and Lincoln too, are coming off an open week. So you get some different stuff, and so I'll be glad when we can be the ones throwing the different stuff out there.
Coach, we're going to look at some highlights of your game. We'll give folks some names and numbers and things like that. We're going to take a look at some highlights in just a minute. But, obviously you're familiar with Jacksonville, the city of Jacksonville, because you spent so many years there coaching and playing. But what was the best thing so far? What's been the best thing so far about Jacksonville High School that you've discovered?
The kids. The kids are the best thing. I love being around our players every day. They're a hard-working group. They show up. They work hard. They're very coachable. They're tough. They're what I really like about coaching is being around those kids every day, and it's been just tremendous. I love it.
Seeing some highlights of the games tonight. The Jacksonville program has been a good program.
Yes,
and
sir.
You've been a part of good programs, but every coach wants to put kind of their trademark on it. You know, there are, if I name a coach, I can name you 2 or 3 things that are trademarks of that coach and their teams. So for folks in Jacksonville and across East Alabama who may not be familiar with Jeremy Sullivan, what's some trademarks as time moves on, not only this year, but in the years to come? What are some things when people say, hey, Jeremy Sullivan, Jacksonville High School, this is what they are? What are you trying to instill there?
I want us to be tough. I want us to be disciplined. We're going to run the football. We're going to run to the football on defense. We're going to play fast and physical, and that's our goal.
Well, you're sure doing it right here. I'm watching.
He's talking about running the football, and there they go.
Yeah, we didn't throw a pass in the second half. Sometimes there's a little voice in my head screaming, run the football, no matter what the situation is. That's Quay McNeil there, and I think Quay had 5 touchdowns tonight, so that's a pretty good night.
You're controlling the clock.
Yes, sir. And they made some plays. 24 was a dang good football player.
Yeah.
They had a 27 that was a really good football player. He got hurt to start the second half, and that really hurt them. 19 was a good player for them. You know, they made some plays, and I just thought their coaches did a tremendous job of putting them in a position to make plays. I talked to Coach for a while after the game, and it's hard whenever you're struggling like that. They made some plays on some 50-50 balls like that one, and, you know, they're definitely they're a lot better than their record, you know, and that's tough on a coach. And, you know, I talked to him for a while after the game, but he does a great job. I think this is the 80-yard touchdown run that Jaden had. That's Jaden Jones. He's a junior for us. Both those backs are juniors, which is a good thing.
Some people make this hard. They
Yes,
make the
sir.
game hard.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you want to be out there by 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Yes, sir. I would like to be. If we never threw a pass, that would be great. One year when I was at Boaz, we played Sardis, and we ran 68 plays. 67 of them were runs. And I'd let them talk me into throwing one pass. I regret it still to this day. We should have ran the ball one more time. It's been 100%. But yeah, that's a perfect game for me would be handing it off every time. Of course, the quarterback and receivers wasn't like that, but we hand it to them sometimes just so they feel good about themselves.
That's right.
But our quarterbacks he's much improved. He's a first year playing quarterback, and he gets better every week, and he's thrown the ball pretty well the last couple of weeks.
Coach, thank you so much. Congratulations. It's going to be fun. It may not be fun for you. I think it will be. It's going to be fun for us to watch going down the home stretch here as you make this run toward the playoffs and seeing how these last few games unfold for you. Congratulations on the win tonight. Thank you for being with us here on After the Game.
Thanks so much for having me. I enjoyed it. Thank you for having me.
Jeremy Sullivan, head coach of the Jacksonville Golden Eagles. Big winners tonight. 5A Region 6 at home at Golden Eagle Stadium, taking care of business against the Springville Tigers. 49-32 tonight. Time for our next Randy Wood, state representative out of District 36, Extra Point. He's on his way. I think he said he'd be here about 11:30. Westbrook Christian head coach Steve Smith won his 299th career game as a head coach tonight with a win at Ohatchee. Smith would become only the 13th coach in AHSA history to win 300 games with a victory next week at Tryon, Georgia. Coach Smith's career record is now 299-91. That's about 10 wins a year, folks, in 31 years of coaching at Cedar Bluff, Piedmont, and now at Westbrook Christian. After the game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission, rolls on a Football Friday night.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
This spring and summer, get it done right with Oxford Lumber, your hometown partner for projects big or small. From refreshing your garden to upgrading your outdoor space, we've got everything you need. Check out our full garden center and gear up on our Stihl showroom, chainsaws, blowers, trimmers, and more. Ready to grill? We've got Big Green Egg, Traeger, and Blackstone to fire up the fun. Since 1985, Oxford Lumber has been built on tradition and focused on you. Visit us today at any of our 5 locations: Oxford, Roanoke, Talladega, Jacksonville, and Lincoln. Oxford Lumber, where you're treated like family.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Judd Edwards for your personal price plan today.
We stand for Mother Nature, home sweet home. The best you, sunsets with friends, hustle, art that lasts, life's simple pleasures. You know, life has purpose when we stand for something. ATCU is now Emblem, a credit union that stands for excellence and community. But most of all, Emblem Credit Union stands for our members and what's important to them. We stand for you. The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
Back on After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. We are coming to you tonight and every Friday night from the Sound Solutions Media Center here at Parker Memorial Baptist Church on Quintard Avenue in Midtown Anniston. Sound Solutions, they are experts. They are trusted by schools, churches, corporate clients, event venues all across the state of Alabama. They handle the tech so that you can focus on your message, your mission. They have full service audio, video, and they have the lighting. They offer rental, installation, live production. And let me tell you, they take care of things in emergency situations. I've told this story before, probably will tell it again before this season's over. I'm on the board of the Calhoun County Sports Hall of Fame. This year, we had a power outage, knocked all of our sound and things out, and Sound Solutions was on site. Power came back on, but if it hadn't, Sound Solutions had us in good shape so that we could have that once-a-year induction banquet. That's the kind of folks you're dealing with Sound Solutions, located on Highway 78 West in Oxford. Back on After the Game now this football Friday night. More highlights coming your way. As a matter of fact, these are the highlights of the coach that we just talked to. We talked with Jeremy Sullivan, head coach of the Jacksonville Golden Eagles, and now we're going to take you out to Golden Eagles Stadium for this 5A Region 6 showdown. As we'll show you highlights of Jacksonville and Springville tonight. And you see the Eagles running on the field. You see the coin toss there by the Golden Eagles. Jacksonville coming out with the American flag. And a beautiful night for football. As we go to our Oxford Lumber highlights, this is Kamari Jackson throwing to Jaden Jones. Picks up the first down, sling down by the Springville defender, but it's a first down for the Golden Eagles. Next, we have Jackson looking for P.J. Holloway, the speedster. Big gain all the way down to the 5-yard line. He's a small guy, but they had a tough time getting him down tonight at the 5. Then the next play, Quay McNeil for the TD, PAT good, and Jacksonville is up 7-0. There's the Golden Eagles back on offense now after holding the Tigers on defense. Jones taking the handoff. This is a 38-yard pickup. Coach Sullivan talking about running the football. They did it right there, stepped out, stepped back in, but still a 38-yard game. Jackson keeping the ball this time, makes a tough run all the way down to the 13-yard line, breaking a couple of tackles against Springville, having a tough time getting Jackson down. A few plays later, here's McNeil flying into the end zone for a touchdown. Extra point is good. Jacksonville is up 14-0. Springville now with the ball. Brennan Archer hands the handoff now. This is Trig Murdoch, a 50-yard gain way down deep into Jacksonville territory. Archer now 27 yards. He's number 27, a 25-yard run for the TD that cut the Jacksonville lead to 14-7. Springville has the ball back on the next drive. Archer again, drop back, connects all the way down to the 10-yard line. Tigers here have to settle for a field goal. That cuts it to 14-10, but Jacksonville looking to answer. Here's Jones again, takes the handoff, and Coach Sullivan, love to see this one, right up the middle, 75 yards for the Jacksonville touchdown, taking it to the house at Golden Eagle Stadium. Extra point is good. Jacksonville wins the game. That made it 21-10. They win it 49-32. And as we heard, a lot of yards rushing, a lot of offense tonight, Coach Short, in Jacksonville's 49-32 win over Springville. Jacksonville goes to 4-3. Most importantly, though, this was a big region win. We didn't talk a whole lot about that with Coach Sullivan, but it sets up nicely now. They got Lincoln. They got a huge game now, a huge game coming up. Yeah. I know Coach didn't want to talk about St. Clair County yet, but it is looming. Then you got an open date in there, then Anniston, which is going to be a huge, huge game coming up on the night before Halloween, a Thursday night game up at Golden Eagle Stadium.
You know, he's got to be happy to be able to run the football, because if you can run the football the way I just saw them on the highlights, is if you can continue to do it over and over and over, it takes its toll on a defense for people to rush the football. Plus, I know what he's doing. You know, a lot of the injuries he's had has been to some skill-type players, is he's taken people that love to have 70 snaps, and they're only getting half of that. So the more that he can run the football, those other teams, like when he gets to playing these teams that are scoring 50 points, aren't going to have opportunities to score 50 points. So that's why he's rushing the football as much as he is. He's leaning on his offensive line. His quarterback is getting better each week, but he's a runner. He's not a great thrower. So he's just doing what a good coach does, running the football.
And Coach, you know, he told us that one of the trademarks he wanted his teams to be known for was being physical. That's the first thing he said. We just saw in the highlights there that we looked at, Springville was having a hard time getting these running backs from Jacksonville down tonight.
What I wasn't saying is a lot of people will get it, run motion, and they give it to a back, but he's a small back. Their guys aren't real small people. They run real physical, and that's what he wants to see out of his running backs. There's a lot of inside running game, and it's just it was fun to watch them. I love to watch a team that can line up and impose their will on another team.
We talked about a non-region game coming up at the end of the regular season between big rivals Anniston and Jacksonville coming up later on tonight. We're going to take you out with Coach Short to Lott Mosby Memorial Stadium for our Judd Edwards State Farm Insurance Game of the Week. Judd Edwards, I was in a meeting with Judd yesterday. You want to talk about a guy that is invested in our local community. He's over in Heflin. He also has former quarterback for the Oxford Yellow Jackets. He is involved in all kind of things here in East Alabama.
Great guy.
And with State Farm, he's predicting what matters most: home, auto, life, business. Go to insurewhatcounts.com. Also call them in Heflin, but serving all of East Alabama at 256-463-2260. We're rolling up more. Randy Wood, State Representative out of District 36, extra points. You saw this earlier. We had this. Oxford's Maddox Mims and A.J. Ford connected on a 99-yard touchdown pass in last week's home win over Helena. The Mims to Ford play tied 18 others for the longest touchdown pass in state history. The first 99-yard touchdown pass came in 1938. The most recent just last year, but it's only been done 19 times ever in state history, and they did it last week at Lamar Field. We come back, more highlights, Steve Smith of Westbrook Christian, and more as we roll on a Football Friday night.
The Coosa Valley, on the banks of the Coosa River in Gadsden, Alabama. Fishing, boating, and paddling, and home to Team One Chevrolet. Team One Chevy has been serving generations for years. Even the grandkids are grown. Come by and see why so many people come back to Team One Chevy in Gadsden.
Home of the best people, the best service, period.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Looking for top-tier tumbling and cheer in East Alabama? Cheehaw Cheer and Tumble has programs for every age and skill level. We offer small group tumbling, tot and preschool classes, and even custom training for school cheer teams. Planning a party? Let us host it. And our nationally recognized all-star teams train right here at home. Join the Cheehaw family, where confidence takes root and champions are made. Visit CheehawCheerandTumble.com today.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch. The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you. But when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated. Dedicated to what moves you.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
It's game time, and your home deserves a winning play.
At Ted's Floors and Beyond, we're your home renovation MVP. Scoring big with top quality cabinets, flooring, countertops, and tile.
Whether you're tackling a full remodel or just need new floors before kickoff, we've got unbeatable deals, including 0% interest for 12 months and free in-home estimates.
Don't fumble your dream home. Hustle into Ted's today.
We are pleased to partner this year with RO Supply in Aniston for all your remodeling needs. They have fantastic deals down there. They are fantastic folks, and they are supplying us this year with our touchdown T-shirts. I threw some out tonight at Donahoe. You'll see that in just a minute. We're throwing them out at Pell City tonight. We're throwing them out all over the area. We threw them out at Jacksonville and all the places around, and we're going to show you what these look like. These are very, very nice T-shirts. You'll want one of those. Coach Short's going to be our model tonight. That's what the back looks like. Doors, windows, and more. Exceeding your expectations and not your budget. That is RO Supply. And on the front, you'll be one of the few people in East Alabama with a select to have an after the game shirt. That's our high school football after the game. RO Supply touchdown T-shirts. Every game that we go to here in East Alabama, be looking for cheerleaders throwing out those T-shirts from RO Supply. Well, it's time for more highlights back here with Coach Short. By the way, Chad Barnett has the night off tonight. And now more highlights. I mentioned earlier that my crew was at the Pell City Oxford game. We saw those highlights earlier. From there, we were, I have to be honest, I was speeding a little bit, Coach. I was speeding a little bit coming down I-20 tonight to get back to Donahoe for the Donahoe-Fayetteville game. This was a big game in 1A region play up at Lynchfield tonight. So let's take you out there for the highlights of the game tonight between Donahoe and the Fayetteville Wolves. We revived. It was halftime, 22-0. This is the Little Falcon cheer camp that they had this week. And these are elementary age cheerleaders from the Donahoe school, and that was at halftime. We go to action here in the third quarter. Brandon DeLoach with a 14-yard pass from Carter Goins for the Fayetteville Wolves. And then Goins coming to you next as he's going to have a 16-yard run here. The quarterback puts the ball in the right hand. Great job by the QB there. John Limbaugh, the head coach, taught him well. 4th and 15 at the Donahoe 31. Fayetteville misses a 46-yard field goal. That kicker, though, has a leg. He just barely missed another field goal right before the half. It was also from beyond 40 yards. Now we have Cooper Christopher, number 6 of Donahoe. This is a 13-yard run, and you're about to see a lot of Mr. Christopher of Donahoe. He comes along now. There we go, with just running over folks, a 6-yard run. Then we're going to see number 6 again. This was a kind of a chippy game. Here he comes with a 10-yard run right up the middle, running over Wolf defenders. You guessed it, coming up next, Next play, Christopher, this time a 7-yard run. He couldn't run for a touchdown. He went for the contact. He ran into the Fayetteville defender, and then it's 4th and goal as we begin the fourth quarter at the 22-yard line. Luke Farrell's pass is incomplete. Defensive struggle while we were there. There goes the RO Supply touchdown T-shirts right there on the Donahoe side tonight. Donahoe did not score, but they got the RO Supply shirts anyway. Fayetteville wins the game 36-0. Donahoe falls to 0-7. Fayetteville 4-2. They get a win in region play tonight. And Coach Short, we've been saying for the last couple of weeks that we thought Fayetteville was maybe the most underrated team in Class 1A football. They have played the big boys already. They've had some very tough games. They were up 21-0 on Wadley at one time, got beat 56-21. But this is a pretty solid 1A team. Had a chance to see Coach Limbaugh's team for the first time tonight, and they were pretty impressive.
They are, and that's the first time I've ever got to see them this year. And just by watching the scores, they have competed early on in ball games with all these people. And, you know, let me say this while I'm at it. Bill Smith is a good football coach. And it just, by having, but, you know, some years you just don't have it like you do in other years. And he's a good football coach. Just by watching them right there, they're still trying. They're still giving effort. And that's all you can ask for some years.
That's absolutely right. We were talking with our folks on the sidelines there. When, you know, Bill Smith and John Limbaugh are two of the best guys in this business,
yes, they are,
without question. And both of those guys are going to get the most out of what talent they have. In 1A, you're kind of up and down as far as talent goes. We've seen years where Donahoe didn't win a game. We've seen years when Donahoe was undefeated.
That's right.
And that's kind of the way it is in Class 1A football. Don't be surprised if this Fayetteville Wolf team is in the 1A playoffs. And this is the type of team that might pull off an upset once they get there.
They will be somebody that'll beat maybe in that 3rd and 4th, and you don't want to meet them. They possibly could beat some of these too in a first-round game.
Absolutely. All right, now it is time for our awards to remember. East Alabama Top 10. Not a lot of changes tonight, but we're going to take you through that now with Coach Short right now. So let's go to here in our Sound Solutions Media Center. We'll begin at number 10. Number 10, they haven't been this low in about 3 years. Cherokee County lost tonight to undefeated Anniston. Now, they got 2 losses, but the 2 losses that they have, Coach, are to undefeated football teams. They lost to Piedmont, who hasn't lost a game. They lost to Anniston tonight, who hasn't lost a game. So that's why, Coach, we're keeping them in the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, you should have been at that game. You'll see more about it later. It was a very physical football game, and they're still a great football team that he's going to have a chance to get back to Protective Stadium again. Number 9 in our East Alabama Top 10, Winterboro. Team won tonight over Victory 39-7 on a collision course with, I'll tell you who our number 1 team is here in just a moment. Number 8 in our East Alabama Top 10, Pleasant Valley, 34-6 road winners tonight on the road as they won at Cedar Bluff tonight. And Pleasant Valley in a couple weeks getting ready, Coach, for a huge monumental showdown. Maybe the biggest game in school history with North Sand Mountain coming up. It is, and North Sand Mountain's known for their defense, and Pleasant Valley's known for their offense. We'll see what Tornado meets.
Yeah, North Sand Mountain, I think, the number 1 defense in the state, regardless of classification. Number 7 in our East Alabama Top 10, Moody. Again, they have 2 losses. Those 2 losses were to 7A Auburn on the road, what would be a gigantic 7A Gainesville, Georgia on the road. Everybody else they have beaten, including 53-0 tonight against Centerpoint.
Unless there's an upset, that is going to be your northern representative in 5A, I think.
I think you're right, Coach. Number 6 in our East Alabama Top 10, Alexandria, 39-21 tonight as they won at Hoax Bluff. And that was an impressive win. That might have been, we'll see highlights of this coming up a little bit later, but Coach, that might have been Alexandria's most impressive win yet tonight.
It is, and they're just slowly chipping their way back and back and back. I mean, I see them making a deep run in the 4A playoffs.
Next week, them and them.
Going to be huge because you don't want to
end next week, excuse me. Alexandria and Hoax Bluff.
But I know that, but I'm just saying.
That's still a big,
because they're still,
you
know, Anderson's pretty much got it wrapped up.
Yeah.
But these 2 right here are fighting to get second because you want to be at home in that first round.
Cherokee County, Hoax Bluff next week. That's the matchup, which is going to be huge next week. Cherokee County and the team that Alexandria beat tonight, Hoax Bluff. All right, number 5 in our East Alabama Top 10, Central Clay County. Were you surprised tonight that they had to throw a touchdown pass, a long touchdown pass with 9 seconds to go in the game to beat Elmore County?
Well, you know, I've watched some film on them and got to listen to Coach Horn talk about how good they've been, how good Elmore County is, so he finally told the truth. They were a good football team, and he did. And for them to have, who knows what would have happened if they don't have their quarterback back. Him to be able to make that play and make that pass.
Wilkerson was the one that made that pass.
There was 8 or 9 seconds to go in the game, and to make that play to win, we went into overtime, they'd have just run it in there and stopped them. But still, that is a game they needed. They needed a big game like that. They needed a close game. And that also tells me that Elmore County may be able to make a deep run also.
Absolutely. Number 4 in our East Alabama top 10, Anniston, moving up a slot. This is a team that very easily now, a lot of the if you look on paper, you look at the records, they've already beaten Alexandria. They've already beaten Hoax Bluff. Tonight they beat Cherokee County. It would take a monumental upset somewhere down the road for them to not win the region title. Then the last week of the regular season, it's going to be a big, good football game with Jacksonville coming up. But this is an Anniston team that now it's starting to show, Coach, some shades, and you saw them tonight. They're starting to show a lot of the signs of the great Anniston teams of the past.
Well, the thing they have is they have an athletic quarterback that can run and to throw it. You know, he would have had tonight, their quarterback, he ran the football exceptionally well. And sometimes the pocket would break down and he'd make long runs. But he made 2 passes tonight of over 40 yards. They were dropped, but they were just perfect passes. So that, if I'm another coach, look at them and say he has the ability, because those kids can catch it. Just one of them nights they didn't. So Anniston's a team to be reckoned with, because they're getting to the point where they can run it and throw it.
Number 3 in our East Alabama top 10. You saw them last time for the first time. I've seen them twice this year.
Yeah.
I saw them against Coosa Christian. Coosa Christian. Coosa Christian is number 3. I saw them against Blunt last week. I saw them against Pell City, who obviously has a very good team. You saw them last night at Cleveland. Your impressions on Coosa Christian?
So you haven't seen them against 2A competition?
I have not seen them against 2A competition.
6A competition?
I've seen them against 2 6A schools, yes.
Make your reservations to Birmingham. If they don't get anybody hurt, they can throw it. They can play defense. They only play like 16 guys. And the kid we had last week, I was so impressed with him. The comeback player of the week, I
Joseph
guess.
East.
Oh, man, that boy loves to hit. No wonder he had broken bones, because he loves to hit. But that was a very impressive team. I had not seen them, but now that I've seen them, somebody's going to have to be a great football team, or they're going to have to play terrible or injuries to keep them out of the
So
Super
our
7.
friends from over in Gadsden at Coosa Christian, Coach Short says the Sheraton, downtown Birmingham, right across from Protective Stadium. Make your reservations now.
Well, the thing is, look, and they've got two more Thursday night games in a row. You know what that gives them a chance to do on Friday night?
Scout.
Start scouting, and that's what they're doing.
Maybe in South Alabama. Maybe.
Probably.
Yeah. Number 2 in our East Alabama top 10, Piedmont Bulldogs. Again, they go on the road tonight at Locust Fork. No problem. Big numbers on offense. 49-9, they win the game at Locust Fork. Piedmont just keeps on rolling.
It's going to keep on rolling and keep on rolling. And the thing about them is they're so good in all phases of the game. Whether it be, everybody talks about, well, kicking game, they don't kick it well. They block kicks. They return kicks. That's part of the kicking game.
And number 1, Wadley. Now, Wadley next week, Coach, because they had a big win tonight, huge win. They're knocking out all the 1A competition, but they go back up to 3A. You saw them last week when they beat Glenwood, very good 3A team. They got another 3A team coming up next week in Lee Scott out of Auburn, but Wadley remains number 1 in our East Alabama top 10.
3A Lee Scott out of Auburn. I hope you are very physical, because you're fixing to see the ultimate physicality in 1A football.
And let me tell you about 2 teams that are not on here right now that I will make a prediction will be in this top 10 very soon, and that's the Handley Tigers.
I mentioned earlier in the year that they were going to end up, before it's all over, winning their region.
I think I had them in my preseason top 10, and people kind of questioned about that and scoffed, and I thought, well, we'll see. I think Handley, also Westbrook Christian is another team that's going to be in this top 10 before it's over. And speaking of Westbrook Christian, the head coach of the Warriors, Steve Smith, is standing by. He's next on After the Game.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
Looking for top-tier tumbling and cheer in East Alabama? Cheehaw Cheer and Tumble has programs for every age and skill level. We offer small group tumbling, tot and preschool classes, and even custom training for school cheer teams. Planning a party? Let us host it. And our nationally recognized all-star teams train right here at home. Join the Cheehaw family, where confidence takes root and champions are made. Visit CheehawCheerandTumble.com today.
At Jacksonville State University, the journey starts with you. It begins with your ambition, your curiosity, your dreams. Here, you forge your own path. You have the power to make a difference, explore new horizons, and turn your passions into your future. At Jack State, we journey forward together. The journey starts with you.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
The Coosa Valley, on the banks of the Coosa River in Gadsden, Alabama. Fishing, boating, and paddling, and home to Team One Chevrolet. Team One Chevy has been serving generations for years. Even the grandkids are grown. Come by and see why so many people come back to Team One Chevy in Gadsden.
Home of the best people, the best service, period.
Johnson's Giant Food, they've got locations all over the place. They're in Jacksonville, they're in Coldwater, they're in East Gadsden, downtown Gadsden, Attala, and soon to be, opening soon on Highway 77 in Southside. Let me tell you about the deli at Johnson's Giant Food. Folks, they have everything there. They've got the hot bar, they've got chicken fingers, wings, potato wedges, they've got the quick grabs, the chicken salad, potato salad, chips, cookies, drinks, everything you need. You're gonna go maybe tomorrow to the Alabama-Vanderbilt game. You want to do some tailgating down in Tuscaloosa? Hey, here's you go. You go to Johnson's, pick it all up, take it down to Tuscaloosa. Friday night games, you go to see Westbrook Christian play. Home game over at Osborne Memorial Stadium. Go by and get all the food and tailgate over at Rainbow City at Westbrook Christian. Johnson's Giant Food bringing you our concession stand of the week, and they provide a $100 gift card to those booster clubs that do those concession stands. All right, we're back on high school football. Alabama's after the game. Calhoun County Commission. Chad Barnett has the night off, but Coach Michael Short is with us, and we're also pleased to welcome, speaking of Westbrook Christian, the head coach of the Warriors, Coach Steve Smith, with us in studio. Coach Smith, welcome. Glad to have you with us.
Glad to be here.
I know this is a long night because I'm going to guess you've been to Ohatchee.
Right.
Back to Rainbow City.
That's right.
Rainbow City to Anniston.
Yep.
Anniston to Piedmont.
That'll be the trip. That'll be the rest of the trip here.
Steve Smith.
Maybe Waffle House in between.
I was going to say, you got to have a Waffle House somewhere.
That's right.
Coach, congratulations on the win tonight. Obviously, doing a lot of good things on offense, put up a lot of points, doing a lot of good things on defense. I saw your team, seen your team a couple of times, saw them last week, and you've had 2 shutouts in a row. So let's begin with the defense and talk about them.
You know, we were really good tonight on defense. You know, Ohatchee running the Ugly Eagle stuff and having to play discipline, having to stay at home and do your job. I mean, I thought Coach Brad Lowe, our defense coordinator, and then Wayne Lee and Sean Smith and Jimmy Easterwood, the guys on the defense side of the ball, did a great job of putting a plan for our guys. The guys picked up on that plan and executed it tonight. I think first half, I think Ohatchee had 5 possessions and it was 5 3-and-outs.
Wow.
And that was big for us. Our kicker Reed Barber had 8 touchbacks, and so every time he kicked off, they started on the 20 and then 3-and-outs, and we were taking over the ball on their side of the 50. So it was good complimentary football, and very proud of how our defense played.
Well, we need to talk about special teams because Coach and I every week talk about Reed Barber.
Yeah.
That guy, and you told me this summer at Media Day, you said, hey, this guy is as good as there is in the state, and he has shown that over there at your game last week against Munford. I mean, he is putting those balls not into the end zone, Coach Short. He's putting them into the back of the end zone, like 9 yards to the back of the end zone. That guy, as you said tonight, when you got a guy that the other team has, because tonight I was the Oxford Pell City game, and they had 3 kickoff returns for touchdowns in that game.
Wow.
And if Reed Barber had been there, there's no chance because those balls go out of the end zone. So that's a big weapon.
It is a huge weapon, and we actually had a kickoff return, the second half kickoff return. Gavin Michael returned it 95 yards for a touchdown. So, being able to generate some points on the special teams, we blocked the punt and took over on the 3-yard line. So, special teams were huge for us tonight. Don't want to leave those guys out. They did a great job as well.
Coaches enjoyed. He pumped his fist over there talking about those special teams guys.
Oh, yeah.
It's great all year. It always is, but it really stands out when you start getting in the playoffs and playing good people.
Right.
Because it is so hard as an offense to go 80 yards. In high school football without making a mistake or getting a penalty and getting behind the sticks. It's incredible to watch y'all's kickers, because I was there when you played Piedmont. I'm going, wait a minute, I didn't know where to go. I couldn't get no farther back and kick. But when everybody wants to talk about the kicker, and it's good, but you got to have the snapper, you got to have that holder, and everybody blocking. So that group's got to be doing their job too.
You're exactly right. Taylor Brown's our long snapper, and Parker Sims holds for us on those placements, and they do a wonderful job.
Just to watch y'all. I guess I've started watching now since you got there. In each year, you see something, whether it is the size, the strength, and just more and more of your stamp being put on there. I know you can just kind of go like that, but now you're starting to see you've really put it on there.
Well, I'm very proud of our kids. We've got great kids. They work extremely hard, and it's good that we've been on the year-round weight program now for 2 complete years, and one in our 3rd year, and you can see a big difference. You can see a big difference in the guys' the confidence that they play with. When you max out, you see the strength totals going up, and you see them getting faster, and it's a really, really rewarding time for me to be able to see these guys succeed.
I know that also theirs, and that was for me. You want to see your kids, on the varsity level, be successful, but once they're gone, somebody else has got to come in.
Right.
And I know your program there all the way down even into your middle school and elementary schools have got to be doing Westbrook Christian football now.
Exactly right. It's just something, you can go in and put all your eggs in one basket to try to build up for a particular year, a team, or you can invest in trying to build a program. And very fortunate we got a lot of good help in the middle school. We got 4 or 5 guys that just work with our middle school team. And then 5th and 6th grade, we brought a 5th and 6th grade Pee Wee team back last year. And having a great group of guys that work with us on that, and just excited about the things that are in store for us at Westbrook. We got a lot of good things going on, and great facilities, great support from our administration, and community that's behind us. Great athletic club that supports us and able to supplement us with all the things that we need to have a chance to be successful. So it's a great time to be a Westbrook Warrior.
Coach, as I've watched you play and watched you over the years, you got quite a few wins, and you're close to a monumental, milestone there. And I know what your answer is already. But I'm going to congratulate you on where you're at right now, and you've done a great job of everywhere you've been of getting the players to play hard and to do what you want them to do. And not only that, just the communities to follow you. And you've been very fortunate to be in communities that love football, and they've followed anything you've asked them to do.
Exactly right. I mean, that's the big key, this day and time when you look at athletics, and you look at kids, and you look at all the things that's out there for them to do, getting kids convinced to come in there every day and work hard and put in the time and effort to be a physical football player. There's a lot of easier things out there that they could be doing, and I've been very, very fortunate everywhere I've worked, Cedar Bluff, Piedmont, and now at Westbrook Christian, just the the kids that I've had, they've been tremendous. They were willing to do whatever you ask them to do. They all want to put the team first and in front of their own individual accomplishments, and you know, we've had some successes, and I just attribute that to the loyal assistants I've had over the year, coaches, and not having very much turnover, and then great kids that were willing to do whatever was asked of them to try to make the team successful.
Well, somebody had to teach them, and that was you. And I know you won't take that, you know, you're not going to take credit for that, but 300's coming, and when you get it, it's going to be a milestone. And I know you know, a lot of people think, oh, that's great and great. It's really not. I mean, but it is when you retire. Yeah. And you can sit back and look, and y'all go on another cruise somewhere. You can look and say, I did over 300, because it is. In the grand scheme of things, it's a great accomplishment, and I just want to tell you now.
Well,
because eventually you're going to win another one this year, Coach. You're going to win one more for sure.
I appreciate you saying that, Coach. It means a lot to me. You know, I've always looked up to you. I mean, you've been one of those guys that's been a great mentor for a lot of us, and I hate to make you sound old or whatever, but you've done a lot of great things in high school football, and a lot of people have looked up to you, and I tell people all the time that there's not a better guy out there than Michael Short, and I appreciate anything that you say that's a compliment toward me. I appreciate you.
Coach, let's talk about the offensive side. We talked about defense, we talked about special teams. Over your 31 years of coaching, you've had some special players, some really all-time great players in this state. And I've been telling people for a year, listen, there's this guy at Westbrook named Brody Blevins that is going to be a household name that everybody's going to know, just like a lot of the great Steve Smith quarterbacks of the past. This guy is phenomenal. Tell us about Brody Blevins.
Well, he's number one. He's as good of a kid as I've ever been around. He's a humble kid. He's a hard worker. He's a fierce competitor. That's what makes him who he is. He hates to lose. He'll do anything.
And I know Steve Smith loves that attribute about him.
You know, that's it. You know, I think a lot of people think that a quarterback has to be built in a lab, a certain size, a certain height, certain this, that, and other. You know, we look for things in quarterbacks, and I always have, that you can't measure necessarily at a combine or at a tryout camp or something like that. And Brody Blevins has got the it factor. He's a natural leader. You know, I always consider quarterbacks having to be people that can elevate everybody around them, get them all to play at their highest level. And there's not a guy on our football team that wouldn't run through the wall for Brody Blevins, because they know what he would do. They know that he would never ask nothing out of them that he wouldn't be willing to do first. And, you know, his leadership skills are what sets him apart, but he's really, really worked hard in the off-season and throughout the summer to improve his passing game. Last year he was known as a rusher. You know, I think he rushed for about 1,500 yards last year, but he had a good season passing the football last year, but everybody looked at him as a run-first guy. And then this year, you know, he's kind of flipped the script a little bit on that, and that's kind of by design, you know, because, I mean, he was pretty banged up toward the end of the year last year. We were running him 25 times a game, and he's got some weapons on the outside that he can get the ball to, and they can make some plays for him. And offensive line's been protecting him, giving him some time to throw the ball, and he's really come around with his arm, and he's doing a tremendous job leading our team.
Let's take a look at Class 3A regions now. We're going to take a look at both of our 3A regions here in East Alabama. So this will actually be North Alabama and South Alabama. So we'll actually go South Alabama, but this has a couple of local teams in there, folks like B.B. Comer and Childersburg and Randolph County. This is Glenwood and Lee Scott. Lee Scott gets Wadley next week in the non-region. Those are the two schools at the top, those two new schools that came over in the last reclassification. Glenwood and Lee Scott are both 4-0. And Coach, your perspective on this, because the thing about it is, I don't think folks realize, if Glenwood and Lee Scott stay in the AISA, Hoax Bluff and White Plains are both in Class 3A these last 2 years, because they were 2 students away. These two new schools here really was what bumped Hoax Bluff and White Plains up to 4A, or you might be playing those schools. They might be in the, certainly the Hoax Bluff, you'd be in the region with it.
And you know, with this time of the year, the count is in, so to speak.
Yes.
Everybody knows that the numbers are in, and somewhere before Christmas time, we'll get the new classifications for the next 2 years. And all just the buzz and the chatter that's out there about who's going up, who's going down, whose enrollment's up, whose enrollment's down, all that type of thing, and then trying to figure out which region you're going to go into. And of course, we've been in the 9-team region the last 2 years, and that's not very conducive towards scheduling. You know, it doesn't really matter where you get placed. I mean, you know you're going to be in a region, and you'd prefer to be in an 8-team region so that you'd have those common off weeks and could find some traditional rivals that you could play, you know, weeks 1, 5, and 10. But you know, I never really thought about it like that. But when you mentioned that Glenwood and Lee Scott coming into 3A, I guess as new schools,
That's what did it. We saw it last year.
It did bump some people up to 4A, and I didn't realize it was necessarily Hokes Bluff and White Plains that it affected.
Both those schools were 2 students away each, 2-point-something students
Right.
away from being in Class 3A. Let's go to your region now,
Right.
9-team region, and Piedmont at the top. You've already played them.
Right.
You are 4-1. That's your only loss both in the region and overall. So what we talked about with Coach Sullivan at Jacksonville, you know, really controlling their destiny for a home playoff berth, which is huge.
Right.
And you're in the same situation now, Coach. You just keep winning these region games all the way up until Halloween weekend, and you'll be the region runner-up there in home field advantage. And that is big now. It's always been big to be at home, but now being that 1-2 with the way the brackets changed a few years ago,
Right.
well, that's really big now to be that 1-2. Tell us about kind of how you see this region and the rest of your season.
Well, you know, first thing, you can't assume anything. We are in the driver's seat right now, but we still got several tough region games left. And last year, you know, our region was the one that we had an 8-0 team, a 6-2 team, and then you had 5 teams tied at 4-4. And if you look at those region standings right now, there's still a lot of region games to be played, and there's still a lot of people that are in the hunt for one of those playoff spots. I mean, even the teams that have 3 losses right now are not out of it because you don't really know who they've all played. Some of those people that might have 3 losses have played people that are all toward the top. So, you know, I don't think you can take anything for granted, but because of the way the brackets, you know, rotate, I think this year our region crosses over in the first round with the Gordo region.
Yes, region
And that's
5.
all the way across the state. So you're talking about a first round. There's going to be 4 teams. You know, our 3 and 4 that'll travel their 1 and 2, and then their 3 and 4 that'll travel to our 1 and 2. There's going to be 4 teams that's going to get on a bus for at least 2 hours to go across the state to play in a first round playoff game. And so any coach will tell you you'd rather be at home than have to get on the bus and travel 2 hours for a first round playoff game. So you know, although we look like we're in a favorable position right now, there's still a lot of region play to be had, and a lot of teams that still gonna have some say in what those final region standings are. So, you know, we haven't played Wellborn, we haven't played Pennington, and we haven't played Weaver yet. So we still got, you know, 3 really tough games. Wellborn sitting right there, just a half a game, I guess, behind us right now, and then Weaver and Pennington were both teams that beat us last year. So nothing that we can take for granted on our remaining schedule. We're just going to have to go out there 1 week at a time and just try to take care of business on the opponent that's in front of us. Next week we'd step out of region and go over across the Georgia line, and we're playing Trine. And Trine, you know, the last 3 years, I think they've won double-digit games each of the last 3 years, and so I know they've got a good program. So, you know, that's going to be a really good test for us to see where we stand with the schools. I think enrollment-wise, Trine will probably be a 4A. In Alabama, I think they're around 400 kids or so. So, you know, that's going to be a good opportunity for us to go on the road for an hour and a half or so, and you know, try to treat it like it's a playoff game, just to see, you know, how we'll handle that situation, because that's a little different road trip than what we're used to making.
Eating on the road.
That's it.
Getting out of school early, all those type of things.
Right.
I wanted to go back, and because you talked about your quarterback, and when I've seen him,
right,
and he runs the ball a lot, but looks-wise, he doesn't look like one of your traditional linebacker, fullback type guys that are quarterback. They can still throw,
right,
but they were always big guys.
Yeah.
And he's not one of you. Just when you see him, you go, he's not a big guy, but he runs big. He runs like a fullback. So I was really impressed with his running skills and how hard he does run. He don't look to avoid nothing.
No, he's seeking contact. Like I said, he loves contact. He started for us my first year there as a safety, his freshman year, and he was a headhunter on the defensive side of the ball. He's a little bigger than you think he is. He's about 6'1", weighs close to 190 pounds, so he's put together really well, and he's one of the fastest kids on our team. So we try to take advantage of his skill set, but he's definitely a guy that's not afraid of contact. He likes the rougher the better, you know, as far as that goes, and so, you know, that kind of endears him to the coach a little bit too, because he's not going to slide, he's not going to run out of bounds, he's not going to run away from a hit. And if anything, you know, I probably have to pull the reins back on him every now and then and tell him, hey, just be smart. But he is in the same mold of a lot of the guys that I've had in the past. And you know, when you got a guy like that, you got the confidence in them that they can go out and lead the team, and you know that the moment's not going to be too big for them. And He's a great student of the game. He wants to get better. He's never pleased. You know, he's probably harder on himself than anybody else is on him because he always thinks he could have played better. You know, so you got to love kids like that.
Well, some kids think, some kids think, well, I know it all. I mean, I know it all, but he still looks like the kind of kid that would come to you and say, Coach, what do I need to get better at?
That's exactly right. That's who he is. You know, he never's pleased with where he's at. He's always striving to get better, and then, you know, that's one of the things that you love about him as a coach.
All right, Coach, last question here.
Yes, I got one too.
You got one?
I got one
you
last
get yours.
one.
Get it in.
I'll get mine. All right. There's a little bird I talked to, little birdie, and they told me I needed to, I wanted to find out.
I don't know where this
something.
is going.
I don't either.
I wanted to find out something about you, and I'm interested. So now I know who I can call to ask about fantasy football.
Oh my goodness, here we go again.
And 62, I mean, I don't even know how you keep up with the number of teams that you have.
I don't keep up with some of them sometimes. I look at my lineup sometimes and then I forget to set a lineup in a league here or there. But yeah, you know.
But it's constantly been around football. You're still doing football stuff.
Well, you know, and that's kind of one of those things. Everybody has an excuse for what their addictive habit is.
Yes.
I guess my addictive habit is playing fantasy football. And back during COVID, I got introduced to an app, Sleeper, and Dynasty fantasy football, Dynasty leagues, and rookie drafts, and all that. And you know, we wasn't working and all. You couldn't go anywhere. And this one league led to 5 leagues, led to 10 leagues, and I don't know. But that is my guilty pleasure, I guess, is playing fantasy football.
Coach, last question. Promise this is the last question for any of us. You and I both grew up in the 80s, grew up in the same county.
Yes, sir.
One of my favorite movies of all time still to this day was the movie Back to the Future. I love that movie. Right. And so if I came in my DeLorean with Marty McFly and we got in the DeLorean from 2025 and we came back to 1988 to Center, Alabama in that DeLorean, and I got out of that and I said, Coach Smith, you don't know who I am, but I'm from the future. And I'm telling you, you are going to be a high school head football coach, and you're going to be sitting here one win away from having won 300 games, multiple state championships, tons of region and area titles, and things like that. Now, I'm telling you, this is the truth. I am from the future. This is guaranteed lock, stock, and barrel. You are going to be one of the, I think when you win 300, you'll be only the 14th coach, I think, in state history to have won 300 games. So if I come back in my DeLorean to Center, Alabama, and I'm from the future, and I tell 18-year-old Steve Smith that, what would your reaction would have been?
You'd have been crazy, I thought, just because
Where are you from?
Everybody in my life at that time, because I played every sport, you know, but everybody told me, said just, you know, hey, got everything in front of you in the future, be anything you want to be. Coach Johnson's parting words to me was just don't be a high school football coach. That was whatever you want to do, you can be successful, but don't be a high school football coach. He said you're going to spend lots of hours, you're not going to have a lot of family time, you're not going to make any money, you're not going to do any of this stuff. He really, really tried to push me in a different direction, and of course, I think he probably knew deep down that was kind of the direction I was wanting to go, and you know, I never would have dreamed to be standing here tonight and having those things that you mentioned happen to me, you know, because I was dumb. I just knew what I knew, and I got a head coaching job at Cedar Bluff. Bobby Mintz hired me when I was 24 years old in July of 1995, and I knew nothing. All I knew was what I played in and the coaches that I had played for, and you know, I tell everybody the first season at Cedar Bluff we finished 2-8, finished the year with 13 players. I ran everybody off. I did. I ran everybody off, and Mr. Mintz called me in his office after the year and said, I'm going to give you another chance, you know, but you're going to have to change some things because you just about shut the program down here. And that was a place that had L.D. Bruce. The stadium was named after him, all the success that Cedar Bluff had, and you know, Jeff Bullen had a lot of success there. Coach Mintz had been a coach there for a couple of years before he elevated to principal, and I just got that job because he got elevated to principal the last week of July, and he needed somebody that could teach math, which is what I was certified in, and could coach football and baseball, and he just didn't have a lot of other options. But that's kind of how it all started and how it happened. And then the second chance of getting a second chance to come back for a year 2 after just about closing down a really proud program. You know, I'll be forever grateful to him for that. But and then coming from center, if you'd have told me I was going to coach for 17 years at Piedmont, I mean, that's the high school.
Yeah, that's the big one there.
That's the high school equivalent of being, you know, an Alabama graduate and going to coach at Auburn. I mean, that was just a no-no. I never would have dreamed how God would work it out for that to happen the way that it did, you know. But looking back on it, it was all His plan about where you're supposed to be at what time, and you know, great success that we had there as a team, and the championships and all that. But my kids got a great education and a great school system, and you know, went to one school for their entire life. And Coach knows that, you know, these day and times you don't see guys stay 15 years, 20 years at a particular school like it was when we were in school. And just having that opportunity, and then this opportunity with 30 years in public schools and retiring and getting to move down to Rainbow City for what I've often said was a gold mine opportunity, because I've often felt that Westbrook Christian could be a gold mine. You know, my family's still in Center, and we still live in Piedmont while the kids are in school at Jack State, and Rachel still works there in the school system at Piedmont for a couple, 3 more years so she can retire. And you know, it all worked out perfectly for us, because I couldn't have never dreamed it working out the way that it has.
God's blessed you.
Yes, sir.
I tell
100%.
folks all the time, they ask me about Steve Smith, and I say, I tell you, God makes certain people to do certain things, and God made Steve Smith to be a high school football coach, and he's one of the very best ones this state has ever seen in 100 years of high school football. Coach, congratulations on the win tonight.
Appreciate
Number
you.
299, 300's coming. Westbrook wins tonight over Ohatchee, 48-0. We'll be back with more of After the Game in just a moment.
It's game time, and your home deserves a winning play.
At Ted's Floors and Beyond, we're your home renovation MVP. Scoring big with top quality cabinets, flooring, countertops, and tile.
Whether you're tackling a full remodel or just need new floors before kickoff, we've got unbeatable deals, including 0% interest for 12 months.
Excellence and community. But most of all, Emblem Credit Union stands for our members and what's important to them.
Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated to what moves you.
Addiston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Judd Edwards for your personal price plan today.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
All of the hardware we give out, and we give out a lot of that every week. We've got all kinds of awards like Cheer Squad of the Week, Team of the Week, Player of the Week. We're going to meet our Player of the Week for this week coming up. A personal delivery. Darnell Field out at Glencoe tonight between Glencoe and Weaver. And we've got the highlights of that game as we're going tonight between Glencoe and Weaver. And we've got the highlights of that game as we're going to take you out to Glencoe. A lot of special things going on in the pregame tonight at Glencoe. That's the 79, 93, and 2014 semifinal teams from Glencoe. Robert Wolf was the first one to score a touchdown at Wilson Darnell Field, and he also tossed the coin tonight. Weaver fumbles the ball on the opening kickoff, and Glencoe recovers to take over, obviously deep into Weaver territory. You see that fumble recovery right there, scrum for the ball, and Weaver is set up perfectly. This is Alex Hudson with a 22-yard run coming right at you here on the Glencoe sidelines. He takes it even deeper into Weaver territory. This is Bronner McMurray. This is Coach's guy right here. 6-yard run for a touchdown. PAT is good, and it's 7-0 Glencoe very early in the game. And that means the RO Supply touchdown T-shirts going out on the Glencoe side. And there's the RO Supply on the back, and you're getting on the front there. I think they didn't turn that around, but trust me, it says after the game. Here's Glencoe Junior Allen. He threw the ball, but he threw it to number 4, Jacob Chambliss of Glencoe. Intercepts the ball for the Yellow Jackets. Alex Hudson with another touchdown for Glencoe. That makes it 14-0 Yellow Jackets. And then Weaver with a punt, but it is blocked by Glencoe. We promised you some great special teams play tonight. Parker Gullidge caught the ball in the end zone for the touchdown. PAT is good. 21-0. When we left, Glencoe goes on to pour it on as they beat Weaver tonight 56-19. And as we saw in the region standings, we're talking about Piedmont and we're talking about Westbrook, but Glencoe, they are in good position for a playoff berth as well because they have already got that win over Walter Welborn and J.B. Pennington.
Yes.
And those are two of the contenders, and they've got the head-to-head tiebreaker if it came down to that, which did in this region last year, 5 teams for the last 2 spots. But right now, Glencoe in a very good spot for a playoff berth. And I'll tell you, Coach, I think maybe last year the big turnaround was Alexandria. Probably had the biggest turnaround in East Alabama, going
Glencoe
from 1-9 to 7-3. Glencoe, I think, is about to be the team this year that's going to make the biggest turnaround in East Alabama. They very easily could win 7 football games this year.
Yeah, and they'll be a team, too, that when you get into the playoffs, you better be scared when you see them because
those RO Supply touchdown T-shirts as well. But they have a storefront on the square in Jacksonville. Go by there with the best selection of Jacksonville State and local high school merchandise. That is Red Threads. We also want to tell you about the Calhoun County Commission. Big part of making this program possible for you every Friday night is the County Commission. And one of the guys that out to J.D. Hess's family, commission.
Anytime I saw J.D., he'd always, even when I was coaching, would come up and say, hey, great job, Coach. I love watching your team play. I love your kids. Not just in Calhoun County, but he made an influence and an impact everywhere he went.
Calhoun County Commission bringing you High School Football Alabama's After the Game. We'll be back in just a moment.
The Coosa Valley, on the banks of the Coosa River in Gadsden, Alabama. Fishing, boating, and paddling, and home to Team One Chevrolet. Team One Chevy has been serving generations for years. Even the grandkids are grown. Come by and see why so many people come back to Team One Chevy in Gadsden.
Home of the best people, the best service, period.
Looking for top-tier tumbling and cheer in East Alabama? Cheehaw Cheer and Tumble has programs for every age and skill level. We offer small group tumbling, tot and preschool classes, and even custom training for school cheer teams. Planning a party? Let us host it. And our nationally recognized all-star teams train right here at home. Join the Cheehaw family, where confidence takes root and champions are made. Visit CheehawCheerandTumble.com today.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Judd Edwards for your personal price plan today.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch. The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you. But when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated.
Dedicated.
Dedicated to what moves you.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
Quarterback Club of Calhoun County. Just a few dates left, but boy, look at the names. Aaron Suttles Monday night will be at the Aniston Country Club. He's director of content for the Yay Alabama Collective. I'm sure he'll be saying a lot about this big Alabama-Vanderbilt game coming up tomorrow. Then October 20th, Coach Charles Kelly, the JSU head coach, Jake Fromm, the former Georgia Bulldog quarterback. He'll probably have a lot of comments about that Alabama-Georgia game coming up, former NFL quarterback as well. And then Holly Rowe from ESPN will be there as well. Not too late for you to get involved. And the Quarterback Club does a lot more than just the meetings on Monday night during the season. They award scholarships in the spring. They also are a big part of previewing high school football here in Calhoun County with their media day that comes up in July. So you won't be a part of that, you can be. For membership information, contact David Woodard right there on the screen, 256-239-4481. We mentioned earlier, as we're back here on After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission, John Holder with Coach Michael Short. Chad Barnett has the night off tonight, coming to you tonight from the Sound Solutions Media Center here at Parker Memorial Baptist Church on Quintard Avenue in Aniston. More highlights coming your way. Another key game tonight, maybe not quite as big as the game between Aniston and Cherokee County, which we've got those highlights coming up, but it was still a big game tonight in 4A Region 6 out at Hokes Bluff between Hokes Bluff and Alexandria. So we're going to take you out to those highlights right now at Mike Robertson Field at Hokes Bluff, and we pick things up. It is 12-0 already Alexandria, and there's a 2-yard run on 4th and 2 for the first down by the Valley Cubs. Cole Wheeler handed it off here to Ryan Brown for a touchdown, 18-0. Alexandria extends the lead early there in the second quarter out at Hokes Bluff. 3:24 to go actually until halftime. Hokes Bluff comes back though. Brenton Hale with a 24-yard run for the Eagles. And then Brenton Hale again, number 2, coming back with a 10-yard run for the Eagles. And Bryce Whitaker with an 11-yard pass to Braden Howard. You'll see that one coming up right here. As he's going to look and look and look, and then he's going to run the ball and take it down there. Then we've got Hale again, this time coming in for the touchdown. This is Hale coming right into your screen right here for the touchdown for Hokes Bluff. That made it 18-7 with the extra point. And then we're going to see those RO Supply, the touchdown T-shirts going out on the Hokes Bluff sideline. We saw some good arms there, and then we saw just a little toss right there as those T-shirts go out into the stands. RO Supply, and of course, after the game, touchdown T-shirts. Alexandria back on offense. Cole Wheeler to Tavarian Crook, 47 yards for the touchdown. The 2-point conversion was no good. It's 25-7 at that point. Alexandria put it on cruise control after that, and they win over Hokes Bluff tonight, 39-21 out at Hokes Bluff. Alexandria in really good shape now. They've got a huge game coming up at home in a couple of weeks with Cherokee County. Cherokee County's got Hokes Bluff next week. It just seems like every week there's a key game in this region. Of course, the key game tonight was Aniston and Cherokee County. You were at that game, but thoughts on Alexandria Hokes Bluff tonight?
Well, I mean, just sitting there watching it, Alexandria, I knew during the week that they were going to have to find a way, you know, to contain Whitaker, not let him have long touchdown runs. He may get his yards, but there's going to have to be on 18 or 19 carries. And I knew Alexandria had enough team speed to maybe be able to keep him from getting those long runs.
Ted's Floors and Beyond, we're just not very far away from announcing this week's Team of the Week. And I was telling some folks just yesterday, or a couple of days ago, out at Coosa Christian about Ted's Floors and Beyond. They've done work for me, Coach. They've done work for you.
Yep.
They do everything they say they're going to do. If something by chance is not right, they're going to make it right. They're going to come into your home, show up on time. They're going to give you a great estimate. They're going to explain everything in detail. They're going to use the highest quality materials. They are the best. As I told some folks over at Coosa Christian, they're the only choice for flooring and cabinets and kitchen and bathroom makeovers. Ted's Floors and Beyond. Our Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week selection is coming up just a little bit later on here on After the Game. Time for our final Randy Wood, State Representative out of District 36 Extra Point. Last Friday night, heard about this, Class 5A Williamson of Mobile defeated city rival Murphy 100-0. It's the first time a school in the AHSAA has scored 100 points in a game in 55 years, when Keith beat Alabama Industrial School 122-0 back in 1970. The most points scored in a game by a school is 125. That was set by both Langdale, which is now Valley, in 1925, and the Hamilton Aggies back in 1915. Williamson also set, obviously, a Mobile County record for most points and became only the 19th team in state history to score 100 or more points. More highlights on the way. We're going to take out to White Plains next on After the Game.
It's game time, and your home deserves a winning play.
At Ted's Floors and Beyond, we're your home renovation MVP. Scoring big with top quality cabinets, flooring, countertops, and tile.
Whether you're tackling a full remodel or just need new floors before kickoff, we've got unbeatable deals, including 0% interest for 12 months and free in-home estimates.
Don't fumble your dream home. Hustle into Ted's today.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
This spring and summer, get it done right with Oxford Lumber, your hometown partner for projects big or small. From refreshing your garden to upgrading your outdoor space, we've got everything you need. Check out our full garden center and gear up on our Stihl showroom, chainsaws, blowers, trimmers, and more. Ready to grill? We've got Big Green Egg, Traeger, and Blackstone to fire up the fun. Since 1985, Oxford Lumber has been built on tradition and focused on you. Visit us today at any of our 5 locations: Oxford, Roanoke, Talladega, Jacksonville, and Lincoln. Oxford Lumber, where you're treated like family.
We stand for Mother Nature. Home sweet home. The best you. Sunsets with friends. Hustle. Art that lasts. Life's simple pleasures. You know, life has purpose when we stand for something. ATCU is now Emblem, a credit union that stands for excellence and community. But most of all, Emblem Credit Union stands for our members and what's important to them. We stand for you. The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
We have had some impressive guests in our tonight here on After the Game, and we've also got some impressive doctors that tend to our folks at our athletes. Anniston Orthopedics has their Saturday morning sports clinic that is in the Tyler Center every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Not just football players, but we got cross country, we got volleyball, we got cheerleaders. Obviously, they're athletes, and they have injuries as well, and they take care of all of those on the weekends, 8 o'clock every Saturday morning during the fall, during football season at the Tyler Center. You'll see real doctors. You don't have to wait until Monday. You can go Saturday morning and find out if it's something serious, something light. They'll take care of you. Great folks at Anniston Orthopedics who bring you our comeback player of the week, and they also bring you, of course, those score shirts that go out to our team of the week. And of course, we'll be making that announcement coming up in just a moment. That's just moments away. Back here on After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission, we are going to take you out to White Plains. And Coach, one of the surprise teams. You and I were not real surprised by this, but 5-1 are the Asheville Bulldogs, first-year head coach Mark Sanders. We saw them in the spring out at Ohatchee. Not spring, summer.
Fall Jamboree.
Fall Jamboree out at Ohatchee. I still call it a spring Jamboree.
And I saw them in 7-on-7.
7-on-7. And we knew they had a quarterback. And they were a pretty good-looking football team. And now they're 5-1. They came to White Plains tonight. I'm not surprised they beat White Plains, but I am a little bit surprised at how thoroughly they beat White Plains tonight. They were very impressive tonight. And that young quarterback that we saw has been making some waves, and he's a big reason why.
Yeah, they also have a very large tight end. And when, and I know coaches, he's an old former offensive lineman. He played at Alabama, so you know that they're going to get after it. The thing that I notice when I see Asheville play now is their confidence level. They believe that they can win, and he's from there, and he's got those kids believing. And now maybe the community's starting to get behind them, because you see more and more stuff on social media about getting out there and supporting those Asheville Bulldogs.
They are now 5-1 and certainly in the mix for a possible playoff berth, believe it or not, at Asheville. We're going to take out to Robertson Field at White Plains. We arrived in the second half. It is 26-7. Asheville's up. There he is. John Potter throws to Nate Huckabee to pick up the first down on our Jack State highlights here. Potter to Huckabee again, a 25-yard gain. And this will be another first down for the Bulldogs. Then Potter keeping the ball. Look at this guy. Classic-looking quarterback. Good stature. No one's open, runs the ball all the way down to the 10-yard line. And now here's Potter again throwing his arm, showing his arm, looking for Huckabee again in the end zone. 10-yard touchdown pass, PAT, no good this time. 32-7 Asheville. White Plains gets the ball, black jerseys, Crew Martin the quarterback, Colby Jones across the middle for a first down for White Plains. Martin then hands it off to Antonio Woods. He picks up another first down for the Wildcats. And then it's Martin to Jones again. This time they're going to move the first down, move the chains for a first down. Another great pass over the middle, first down for White Plains. Then it's Martin to his favorite target, Bryson Cheatwood. A big connection this year for White Plains. He takes it 30 yards all the way to the house. PAT is good, cuts the Asheville lead to 32-14. There's the White Plains cheerleaders with our RO Supply touchdown T-shirts going out at Robertsonville. There's our after the game, and there's our RO Supply. Great job, guys, as we see the fans showing it off, the White Plains defensive huddle. Coach Smith out there encouraging his defense to get a stop. Asheville tries to punt. Special teams again. Snap goes over the punter's head. Safety for White Plains. Cuts the lead even further down to 32-16. White Plains punting away this time. And now here's Potter with the ball. Picks up another first down. This guy is big, an unheralded quarterback. This is a great quarterback. Cross the middle this time to Colley for a 22-yard gain. And then here's Potter again. He's got a great arm. He's got great legs. There he goes, running into the end zone for the touchdown for White Plains. 2-point conversion fails. The final score, Asheville beating White Plains 38-16. Remember the name, John Potter, Coach. That guy, we just saw it tonight. What's impressive about him, we didn't see this much in the fall Jamboree out at Ohatchee. We saw mostly his arm then. Yeah. And his scrambling ability, we saw that, but we didn't see him actually running the football very much out there. This guy is a dangerous quarterback because on, I think, 2 of those touchdowns we just saw there, they flush him out of the pocket, and he runs for big gains, including for a touchdown.
Yeah, and by seeing him run like it, eventually you can see them adding in the quarterback design run plays because he's a big kid. You don't realize how big he is till you get out there on the field with him. And he's already, I can see he's got different deliveries from up here and from the side. And you know that Kevin Moore has to be excited about his Asheville Bulldogs.
Bulldogs are 5-1, having a great season. They're fun times. Coach Gene Stallings always said the fun's in the winning. Well, they're having a lot of fun at Asheville right now because they are 5-1. Time now for our Emblem Credit Union Band of the Week. Something unique for our Band of the Week is a band that doesn't march. It's always been a tradition up at Donahoe. They've had a band for many, many years, but they don't march. But boy, do they sound good in the stands. Going to take you up to Lentzfield at Donahoe tonight for our Emblem Credit Union Band of the Year. Hey, the band rocks too. Here's some video of them performing up there. They have 17 members. Kevin Jeter is in his 3rd year as the band director. This is the Donahoe Falcon Band, and they play a lot of great music up there. We caught them catching their fight song there at halftime, and they've got a long playlist sounding good tonight. Our Emblem Credit Union Band of the Week, and that is the Donahoe Falcon Band. Entertain the folks tonight at halftime and in the second half up at Lentzfield at Donahoe. When we come back, Game of the Week time. We're going to talk about the big Anniston-Cherokee County game. Complete highlights. Coach Short was there. Post-game reaction and more. That's next on After the Game.
We stand for Mother Nature, home sweet home. The best you, sunsets with friends, hustle, art that lasts, life's simple pleasures. You know, life has purpose when we stand for something. ATCU is now Emblem, a credit union that stands for excellence and community. But most of all, Emblem Credit Union stands for our members and what's important to them. We stand for you.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver Card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch. The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you. But when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated.
Dedicated.
Dedicated to what moves you.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit Debit Card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
It's game time, and your home deserves a winning play.
At Ted's Floors and Beyond, we're your home renovation MVP. Scoring big with top quality cabinets, flooring, countertops, and tile.
Whether you're tackling a full remodel or just need new floors before kickoff, we've got unbeatable deals, including 0% interest for 12 months and free in-home estimates.
Don't fumble your dream home. Hustle into Ted's today.
We had some impressive guests tonight on our Noble Bank and Trust post-game presser. Both Jacksonville head coach Jeremy Sullivan and Westbrook Christian head coach Steve Smith join us tonight. Let me tell you about this next Friday, 1 week from today, the Noble Bank and Trust main location on Quintard Avenue in Anniston is having their customer appreciation event in honor of 20 years. They're going to have all kind of food, prizes, all kind of things going on. They want you to come by and see them. Visit the folks at Noble Bank and Trust, celebrating 20 years at their Anniston location next Friday, October the 10th. It is time now for our Judd Edwards State Farm Insurance Game of the Week. Coach Short and crew were at Watt Mosby Memorial Stadium for a top 5 matchup in Class 4A Region 6. You know, this is a game, Coach. As we kind of set things up here, you had the team that has been to 3 consecutive Super 7s. They have been the champions of North Alabama in Class 4A for 3 consecutive years. 1 loss this year, that was to Piedmont. They continued this year. They've beaten all the 4A teams they played. So they have been 4A football in North Alabama for most of the last 4 years. Anniston trying to end that tonight.
You know, last year was 14-0 up there. It was a very close ball game, very physical ball game, and tonight was the same way. It was a very physical, hard-fought football game. 8-6, I think, at halftime. You know, and it just, you know, both teams had it was very chippy. They got after each other, and that's the kind of football I like. Wasn't nothing personal, wasn't nothing cheap. It was just kids getting after each other, and even the fans got involved in it a little bit, screaming and hollering in the stands. So, but that's what you like in football. You like everybody to be involved, and they're 2 proud programs.
It's our Judd Edwards State Farm Insurance Game of the Week. Let's take you out to Watt Mosby Memorial Stadium in Anniston. There it is. A good crowd out there tonight to watch Cherokee County and Anniston in this classic top 5 matchup in the state of Alabama. There's the coin toss. Here come the Bulldogs out onto the field on the new turf. Say it's new, 2nd year. This is going to be Damon Pope. Going to hand it off to Q Cunningham right here for a big first down for Anniston, taking it all the way into Cherokee County territory. And we'll see 4th down coming up for the Bulldogs, and it's Pope on the keeper. He's going to go back to pass. No one's open. Then he's going to rush for a first down. He falls short there. Cherokee County defense, that's what they've been known for the last 3 years. They hold. You see the gain tackling there, and Anniston turns it over on downs. Now we see the Warriors. They're going to punt it all the way down to the 1-yard line. Great, fantastic punt. Special teams again. That's been the story tonight. Great special teams play by Cherokee County, but it's a 3-and-out. And now
there it was.
There we see. There's the block out of the end zone. A touchdown. Kyra Lewis. 8-0. Anniston High School in the lead here. Cherokee County huddling up, trying to recover, being down 8-0. This is Woods for Cherokee County with a direct snap, 40-yard touchdown. We've seen Keyshawn Woods all year long do that. We saw him do that last Thursday night. Did it again. 2-point conversion, no good. 8-6 Anniston. Here's Pope on the keeper. Going to pick up the first down for Anniston. A big threat, not only throwing the football, but running the football for the Bulldogs, breaking tackles, going through about 6 Cherokee County defenders to pick up the first down. Here's Coach Jacob Kelly, head coach of the Warriors, on the sideline. Brings us to halftime. There's the Cherokee County band and the Anniston band, both performing there at halftime. Cherokee County drive stalls, and then it's Jabari Williams, number 6, a 20-yard run for the first down. Then it's Pope on a keeper for the touchdown for Anniston. Again, evading tacklers, using his legs, going from one side of the field to the other, squeezes in for a touchdown for Anniston. 2-point, no good. Anniston up 14-6. Now, key play right here. Cherokee County fumbles the ball. It's going to be recovered by Tariq Judkins of Anniston. This was a big play in the game. So Anniston comes back on offense. Here's Pope. We've seen his legs. Now let's see his arm. He's going to go. Escape again with the legs. Uses his arms. Finds Cunningham over a defender for the first down. And then we see Pope again. Going to have another big run. This is a design run, not being flushed out of the pocket. A design run all the way deep into Cherokee County territory for the first down. And then Pope going to hand it off to who else but number 6, Jabari Williams, right up the gut for a touchdown for Anniston. The 2-point conversion was good in this case, and 20 points on there for the Anniston Bulldogs. This is Adam Griffith now for center. He passes to the tight end, Ben Mosley, a 17-yard gain. And then Jayshawn Strump, a direct score, a direct snap for Cherokee County for a 20-yard touchdown run. PAT was good, 20-13. Anniston was the final. as Anniston wins that game. Hard-hitting game, 20-13 up at Lot Mosby Memorial Stadium. As we said, Coach Short was there for the post-game wrap-up and the interview. We'll take it now to Anniston and Lot Mosby Stadium with Coach Short.
Yeah, I'm Coach Michael Short here at Lot Mosby Memorial Stadium with the victorious Anniston Bulldogs. Okay. Coach, tell me who all we got here tonight.
We got Kyrie Lewis, DJ Pope, and Tariq Judkins.
Coach, I just love the way you started off the football game by even though you didn't score, I think you set the tone for the ball game by the way you physicality up front and the way you rushed the football.
Yeah, that was kind of the game plan going in. We want to attack those guys. Cherokee County, good team, they physical, so we want to match their physicality.
Guys, a question for you players tonight. Another big region win for you, but it doesn't get any easier. Next ball game next week. Tell us a little bit about what this game meant to y'all tonight.
It meant everything, man. We ain't been here since my 9th grade year, and we wanted to win as a team together, and that's what we did tonight.
It meant a lot, we went undefeated my 9th grade year. It meant a lot then. We just trying to make it better for the younger groups.
It meant a lot to us, just knowing everybody was against us. And we came out here, we proved a point, we made a statement. This was a statement game for us, and I felt like it was a big one.
Coach, there was a lot of big plays by a lot of players tonight, but I know you got to feel good by the way your offensive defensive lines played tonight against a very physical Cherokee County team.
Yeah, that's where you win the games up front. So, man, just proud of the boys. We're going to enjoy this one tonight, and we're going to get back to work next week.
That's right, because, next week's another region ball game, and you can't ever overlook anybody.
No doubt. We won't.
Guys, that's it. That's a wrap tonight at Lot Mosby Memorial Stadium with the victorious Anniston Bulldogs.
Anniston wins that game for all intents and purposes. Probably going to be now for sure in the driver's seat, maybe wrapping up a region title in 4A Region 6 with that 20-13 win over Cherokee County. So now, with that, let's go right now to our Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden region rundown. We're going to take a look at Class 4A regions now. We'll begin down in the south, 4A Region 3. Handley, Booker T, Washington. Bullitt County was undefeated until tonight. Handley took care of them. So now it comes down, Coach, it looks like to Handley and Booker T, Washington. A very tough loss tonight by Cleburne County. If Cleburne County could have won that game tonight at Tallahassee, they would have St. James next week, a chance to win that and get in the playoffs. It's going to be a lot tougher now. Not impossible, but a lot tougher. But I think the story here, Coach, we alluded to this a couple of times tonight, everybody in this state is sleeping on Handley, and they're 6-1.
I said that earlier in the year. I said it because I'd seen them play and saw them on video, and even Coach Smith saw them against Mumford. He saw them and he said, "Look, that's a good football team." Yeah, they're still Handley, and they're very physical, and I felt like that if everybody was sleeping on them, and they're going to end up being the region winner. It looks like that's what's going to happen.
Let's go to Class 4A Region 6, the region that we've been talking a lot about. There's Anniston. They're the only team that controls their own destiny. They went out there, the region champions. Alexandria and Cherokee County in a couple weeks. That'll be at Death Valley. That's probably going to be for home field advantage in the playoffs. Tell you an interesting game coming up. Asheville and Hoax Bluff is going to be a very interesting game. That's probably going to be for a playoff berth on the line in this region, Coach.
That'll be a good one. I mean, that'll be a great ball game to watch how Asheville tries to control Whitaker as the quarterback, and how Hoax Bluff, without maybe probably one of their better defensive backs, can contain Asheville's throwing game.
Yeah, Potter on one side for Asheville, and then you got Whitaker on the one side of the quarterback position for Hoax Bluff.
Who would have thought Asheville this time 5 weeks ago?
5-1, 3-1 in region play. Now let's go down to Class 1A. Wadley, Winterboro, things haven't changed a whole lot there. Fayetteville got their first region win tonight, but Fayetteville is a team to watch out for because they still play. They've got Wadley and Winterboro out of the way, so they've got victory. They've got Woodland coming up. They beat Donahoe tonight. So look out. So that Fayetteville-Woodland game is going to be a big one coming up in a couple weeks. I think they play that on a Thursday night down at Fayetteville. Let's go to Class 1A Region 8. Woodville and Appalachian both remain undefeated in the region. Spring Garden took a tough loss tonight. Be tough now for Spring Garden to have a home playoff game. Very much alive, Coach, for a playoff berth, but as far as being home in the playoffs, they've lost the head-to-head to both Woodville and Appalachian.
And after losing the players that they've lost, to get into the playoffs would be monumental. And I didn't realize, I know I didn't, But I went by Appalachian last night.
You did?
I went not far
Going to
from
Cleveland.
there, going to Cleveland.
Right on top of Straight Mountain there. They
That's
grow
right.
a lot of good tomatoes out there.
Yes.
Let's go to Class 2A now. Class 2A Region 6, you mentioned Coosa Christian. You saw them last night, 4-0. After that, it could be just about anybody. Susan Moore's got a great quarterback. Cold Springs is good. Southeastern, a team we saw in the spring, I think, has got a pretty good team. Faulkville's pretty good. The only team probably out of it at this point in time is West End. But everybody else is still alive. But the story here is Coosa Christian. This may go down as one of the top 2A teams this state has seen in a long time.
Oh, no doubt. Because when I watched them play, they've got kicking game, they got a great defense, and they got a great offense. It's just a matter of can they stay healthy enough.
Let's go now to Class 2A Region 7, the next region over. North Sand Mountain and Pisgah. Those teams are undefeated. They're going to play each other, and that's going to be a huge matchup. The locally Pleasant Valley, that they've already lost to Pisgah. That's their only loss. That matchup in a couple of weeks with North Sand Mountain probably going to be for home field advantage in the playoffs. And then after that, I think it could be anybody.
Yes.
Cedar Bluffs,
Toss-up.
Section, Sandrock. The question is going to be who's going to be that fourth team in Class 2A Region 7. So that's our Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden Region rundown for Classes 4A, 1A, and 2A, 5A, and 6A. And Team of the Week are coming up in just a moment. But before we get there, let's tell you about Young Oil Grub Mart. They present our muscle team, and they're all over the place. A couple of weeks here. Next week, Auburn's going to be at home against the Georgia Bulldogs. If you're going to that game, there are Grub Mart locations all over the Auburn-Opelika area. Go check them out for all your tailgating needs if you're going down there to the game. And they're all over East Alabama. Far north is center, as far west over and Walker County and places like Summerton. They're at Asheville. They're all over Calhoun, Etowah, and Cherokee counties as well. Great friends of high school football, Young Oil Grub Mart. Coming up, 5A, 6A regions, and our Team of the Week announcement next.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Judd Edwards for your personal price plan today.
Looking for top-tier tumbling and cheer in East Alabama? Cheehaw Cheer and Tumble has programs for every age and skill level. We offer small group tumbling, tot and preschool classes, and even custom training for school cheer teams. Planning a party? Let us host it. And our nationally recognized all-star teams train right here at home. Join the Cheehaw family, where confidence takes root and champions are made. Visit CheehawCheerandTumble.com today.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
The Coosa Valley, on the banks of the Coosa River in Gadsden, Alabama. Fishing, boating, and paddling and home to Team One Chevrolet. Team One Chevy has been serving generations for years. Even the grandkids are grown. Come by and see why so many people come back to Team One Chevy in Gadsden.
Home of the best people, the best service, period.
Our USA Softball of Alabama scoreboard lighting up tonight. No doubt about that. We had a lot of high-scoring games across the region, and it's lighting up for USA Softball. They've already kicked off their 2026 season. That kicked off actually back on August the 30th. If your youth team or adult team is interested, contact Tracy Morgan. Go to usasoftballofalabama.com to find out all of the information. Now, before we get into our last Team One Chevrolet of Gadsden region rundowns in Class 5A and 6A, one of our unsung heroes of the night is one Miss Janet Martin, the mother of Cameron Greenwood. Cameron tonight, this happened. Folks, you don't know how dedicated our staff is. Cameron called me tonight. I was in Lincoln, headed to Pell City. I said, he heard me. I said, this is not going to be good. When our staff's calling me at like 6 o'clock on Friday night, something usually is going awry. And our folks are so dedicated. Let me tell you, he had a flat tire on Choccolocca Road, headed out to do the games tonight, and it was, just a bad situation. But Janet saved the day and allowed him to be able to get to the games at Jacksonville, to get to the game at White Plains on time, so that you could have the highlights of those two games tonight. So if you know Janet, thank her. Cameron's going to get his car fixed, going to get that flat tire taken care of. But that just shows the dedication of not only our staff, but our families of the staff as well. Coach Short, let's jump into our last two regions now on our Team One Chevrolet of Gadsden region rundown. We're going to begin in Class 5A. Class 5A Region 4, a scare tonight at Volunteer Stadium. They had to score with a 35-yard touchdown pass with 9 seconds to go in the game. J.T. Wilkerson to Taylor Boyd against Elmore County, or else this would be flipped. Elmore County would be the team undefeated, and Central would have a loss. But Central did win, and again, they are the only team in this region that controls their own destiny. If they win, they're going to be the region champs.
And they needed that game. They needed a close game tonight, and they needed to be able to find out that their quarterback could still make those plays.
Let's go now to Class 5A Region 6. This has been a lot more interesting region than people thought it was going to be. At the beginning of the season, everybody thought Moody clearly won, Leeds clearly two, and then everybody else is not going to be very good. That is not the way it has turned out. Moody still is very good. They're undefeated. But look at Jacksonville, 3-1. St. Clair County tonight beat Leeds. Leeds is now 2-2. Leeds has lost the tiebreakers, Coach, to St. Clair County and to Jacksonville. So it looks like they may be the 4 team in this region. But a long time since Leeds has been down as the 4. And now I know Coach Sullivan doesn't want to talk about it because he's got Lincoln next week. But if they can get past Lincoln, won't be easy. But that Jacksonville-St. Clair County game is going to be huge for home field advantage.
Yeah, and you heard him mention that his kids believe they can win, and that's something that Jacksonville has now. Their kids believe they're going to win, and he's just taking that what they already had and he's just adding to it.
Let's jump to Class 6A now. Some important games tonight. Clay Chalkville still remains undefeated. They beat Mountain Brook, I think, tonight badly. Oxford beat Pell City, held them off 36-31 with 3 special teams kick return touchdowns, 2 punt returns for touchdowns, a kickoff return for a touchdown. That's big for Oxford because Oxford now has the head-to-head on Pell City and on Pinson Valley. So a lot of football still to be played. Oxford still has Clay Chalkville to go, but Oxford that's a huge win for Oxford tonight, beating Pell City.
No doubt, because it's all about your matchups in the playoffs and being that second-round team. Because most people don't realize that your first and second-round team, if you're at home in the first round, it's almost 90% that the home team wins.
Absolutely. And you get a few upsets there. There's a possibility, even as a 2 seed, you could be at home for a lot of your playoff games. Let's jump finally to Class 6A Region 8, and there it is, Coach. We haven't decided about a game of the week yet, but I'll tell you, that Gadsden City-Fort Payne game at Titan Stadium next week is looking like a prime candidate Fort Payne won tonight. Gadsden City won tonight. Watch out for Southside. Double overtime over Mae Jemison tonight. They're hanging around as well. But clearly, folks, it looks like this is going to be a region title game possibly next week at Titan Stadium between Gadsden City and Fort Payne.
I can tell you one thing that I will get to see, an excellent kicker. Anytime from Fort Payne's always got a kicker, and there'll be some excellent kicking games in there.
That'll be a huge game next week at Titan Stadium, probably a region title on the line between Gadsden City and Fort Payne. Winding up the night, but the last thing we always do here on After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission, is we present our TEDS Floors and Beyond Team of the Week. Who's going to get those Anniston Orthopedic Score shirts? Who's going to get those TEDS t-shirts? Who's going to get the awards to remember Tough Guy Trophy? Well, I'll tell you, for the last 3 to 4 years in North Alabama, the dominant program, the team that has dominated 4A football in North Alabama has been the Cherokee County Warriors. But tonight, the Warriors came to Lott Mosby Memorial Stadium in Anniston, and they lost to the Anniston Bulldogs. Anniston is your TEDS Floors and Beyond Team of the Week. The number 4 team in the state of Alabama fell to the number 5 team. Anniston remains undefeated. We are going to be coming to Anniston High School with the Score shirts, the Tough Guy Trophy, and the TEDS shirts. Congratulations to the Anniston Bulldogs. And we are out of here on this Football Friday night, Saturday morning. We'll see you next Friday night at 10 o'clock on After the Game.